new cage.
G'day everyone, Matt over here.
Sorry, is that me? That's me.
The brick boards here. At least I know the sound's working.
Why is Wally flat on his back? What are you doing?
Went a bit Wally.
If you eat bacon, you would not tell it's a fake cheese. It's bacon.
I was in a house fire whilst my mum was at work.
Was it caused by you?
So...
That's a yes. Yeah, is that right, Sam?
I believe so. There's another little Easter egg in the Death Star. You mentioned the Luke and Vader one, but there's another one. If you throw it at a wall, you can recreate the scene where it explodes.
Oh, his eyes just fell as you said that. But yeah, it just means that he has to be in a very specific position, otherwise he'll just. Oh my god! It's the only time that I've considered glue for Lego.
There's two now! It doesn't matter!
Another time with Bricks live screen. This is number 25, and we had last week was the 72-hour live stream. So thanks to everyone who came along to that and watched that. And the usual sort of thing, shout out to the replay gang and the people who commented back on number 24 was Brian's Bricks and Trevor's videos. So interesting to have Trevor commenting when he's usually on the panel. I think that's the first one he's missed in a while. So he had other things that he's off doing. So if you want to shout out in the next one, if you're watching this back, just leave a comment down below and I'll give you a shout out the following week. And I think, yeah, we'll do that. Also this week, obviously we had 1st of August was a big release. So there's a poll just off to the side in terms of if you got anything, going to get something, or September the 1st is actually looking kind of expensive. So maybe saving a few little pennies for that or cents. So put the poll there, or maybe completely just missed it and sort of sometimes like what I'm doing, it's sort of like just trying to catch up on things before they retire at the end of the year. So I think we, as we're getting going there, just a couple of people that are out there in the chat. Andy's Bricks and Figs, good to see you. Hillian's Bricks, Fred, good to see you. Hope you're going well. Hope your shows and everything are going well and you're selling a few bits and pieces. And Brick Askew, who may be joining us in a little bit. So beyond that, the usual sort of thing, we'll give the sponsor just a quick little word to say their things, so it helps pay for a few little bills.
This video is brought to you by McCatsim Holiday Homes in Margate and Broadstairs. Great for a week's holiday or a weekend escape, being just over an hour east of London, UK. Treat yourself to amazing sunsets, a Lego wall, or great food. Visit www.macatsim.com and mention this YouTube video and we'll look after you.
Bit later on, but are going to be doing a limited edition Sunday stream as well this Sunday, which it's going to be families, so it'll be myself and my kid and Trevor and one of his boys, and going to have Amber Lyer and one of her girls, and just having a bit of a fun stream with the kids while there's a bit of school holidays. So Sunday, 3 o'clock UK, I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard in America, but I'm sure we can chat a bit more about that as we go through. Having said that, let's start getting a few people in here as such. I think I was going through some older videos, and one of the things which really caught my eye about this person was when they're sort of building trees and everything like that, and we sort of covered it a few times. And during the week, they actually did up some instructions for trees, and it's been released on Rebrickable. It's for free, so you can go check it out there. It's some really cool design, and that was from Brick Askew. How are you going this evening, Ollie?
Hello, yeah, good, thank you. All good. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Was that the first time you've gone through and done some like trees and instructions and things?
Yeah, that was my first dabble with studio properly as well. I'd had a quick half hour before, but yeah, that was my first proper go with it and putting something out there. It was quite fun. I enjoyed the whole process, and yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I think as I was sort of commenting, you sent it to me just before you sort of released it, and I was looking through my brown tree parts collection. So like, oh yeah, I can build this, and then I saw it, and it's like, actually, there's a whole bunch of parts I don't even have. So
yeah, there's quite a few. Yeah, quite a few to make the bark. I've tried. Hopefully, they're not too rare. Hopefully, if people actually want to make it, they can order those bits fairly easily, or they might have them. But yeah, I guess I don't know if I appreciate. I bought so many random reddish brown pieces for trees over the past year or so that yeah, maybe my collection isn't representative of everyone else's.
Everyone else's, yeah, no, it's the sort of thing sometimes when I've been going through and looking at trees and sorts of things that other people have done in their mocks and sort of making up lists and things of ones to get and what have you. Now I've got like another sort of tree to go through with yours and order some more parts. And I was really surprised because ages ago I actually went through Rebrickable looking for some decent tree instructions, and there, funnily enough, there wasn't anything there. So
yeah, there's not much, is there? Because I did have a look. I'm sure I've had a look before, but I also had a look just out of curiosity while I was waiting for mine to be approved. And yeah, there's not much. I know the Rebrickable search is a little bit iffy.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was surprised at how little there was.
So,
and even then, some of them were like $5 for not that much of a build.
Yeah, it would be sort of like, here's the minifigure tree outfit or something, which is like £1 or $2 by itself, and a few things on top of that, and what have you. So cool. Well, hopefully, if anybody's out there and looking at doing some mocks, definitely check out your tree that you got going there. What username do you have on Rebrickable?
BRICKRUPTION. I think it's brick_ski.
Okay, so it'll be much the sort of same. So yeah, definitely sort of check that out, and we might chat a little bit more about that. While we're also here, somebody else who I know it was sort of like a big release day, and I'm sure they were chomping at the bit, and they were ultra fast and got their own little blog out with it. And welcome along to Trevor's videos. Looks like you had a good release day at least.
Hi Matt, hi Ollie.
All
yes,
right.
I did. Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun day out. That was the Lego store in Sheffield.
Brilliant. So it didn't turn out to be your nightmare when you get there and there's nothing on the shelf.
No, all my dreams came true that day. So yeah, it was all fine. No nightmares.
Brilliant. I think which we might touch on a little bit later. The actual nightmare came more with the actual releasing of the blog.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I hit a couple of hiccups, shall we say? But yeah, we can talk about them later. Yeah.
the fun things that you have when you're a content creator, it's sort of you're your own sort of producer, director, distribution system, and everything like that. And occasionally you get thrown a little bit of a curly. So I certainly empathized with you when that sort of got picked up there. But we can chat a little bit more about that in a sec. And going on from that, our next person in who was trying to use their Amazon Germany to get me to buy things, but the sales weren't quite at the level that would make it worthwhile for postage and everything. We'll welcome along our friendly German lady, McBrick Nicole. How are you going?
Hi there, I'm good. I have a confession to make. Now that you mention Lego and Amazon and release day, I answered your poll, and confidently I selected that I'm kind of waiting for September 1st. I made a purchase, but I bought a box of the CMFs, which comes out September 1st. I bought it yesterday. And so theoretically, the right answer was I'm waiting for September 1st. I bought something, but it counts as September 1st. Now that you mention Amazon Germany, I lied. Today I bought a dream set from Amazon Germany. So I rigged your poll. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fair enough. So, just quickly, which dreams one did you sort of go for?
After passing on the big ship, the fish, the sharp shark, I bought now the
Yep.
rabbit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's been seeing some of
rather
the
expensive.
posts with the pieces and that, and it certainly looked like there's some really good things out there and everything. So
I was
I
really
guess
tempted to buy some of the Gabby sets because they are discounted as well.
the Gabby set.
Yeah, isn't it called?
Gabby's
Yeah.
dollhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
right.
right. A couple of sets came out, wasn't there?
Right. Ask Amberlaya on Sunday. She will know.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely that. It's kind of funny because when you have the release, and this is sometimes where it's good with when you've got people like Trevor and that going and actually doing the videos and things, because some of the things have been announced so long ago. We all knew that Dreams and sort of, that's been there. But then some of the other things, you look at the list of what's coming out, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that was announced, and that and that and that.
Yeah, right.
So, Ollie, did you manage to pick up anything on the first?
No, I haven't. I'm waiting until probably the next AFOL day to get the discount before I get anything. I think it'll be there's only a few bits that I want. Some of the Marvel No Way Home set. At least I want the figs from that, and the Star Wars 332nd Troopers. Is it the new battle pack?
Yep.
Yeah, but otherwise, I'm avoiding temptation.
How are you managing that?
Yeah,
it's buying a house, mate. Having no money to
say no more. Say no more.
Some real bricks.
Yeah.
September will be really expensive because Star Wars is going to really be out with a lot of.
All the Ahsoka sets, you've got the Harry Potter grounds diorama miniature microscale set, which I personally like that one.
Right.
And you've got Gringotts, of course.
And then Gringotts, and now the release of the announcement of the gunship.
Yes.
Does that look amazing?
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then as Hillian sort of highlighted there, the Concorde that sort of got, I don't know whether it's leaked with official pictures today or it's been officially announced.
Yeah, I saw that. I know there's a few pictures, but I'm not sure what to make of that just yet.
Gonna have to.
Yeah, did anybody else see that?
No.
Yeah, no, it's
I saw a couple of pictures on Instagram.
Like the actual plane itself, I know it's got some nice angles and things like that, and I'm not sure they've quite nailed it. And I think Cabbage being Cabbage did a comparison with, is it one of the Kobe ones? Which I think this probably looks better, if I'm honest. So
I saw that. I saw the same picture, and to me, I agree. The Kobe one looks better. It seems to have got all the actual shape of the actual plane spot on to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why Lego releases a set like that, because my best guess, without having seen anything, is that they definitely can't compete with the price of Kobe.
No.
Yeah, it's going to be the price, but probably the user base. So, there's people who just, if it's Lego, they'll buy it, and I think they haven't really done a plane, like a proper plane like that for quite some time. Okay, you got some of the city sets and things like that, which Nicole wants to put together. I think it's Bonnie for her red eye flight or something like that. But,
it's just that it's a dangerous path to go on, because at the moment, or at least in the past, there was really a division between Lego purists and others who venture into some other providers. If you now have two sets which are kind of the same, isn't it dangerous for someone to look at the less expensive set? If then it's even better looking and the building experience is nice, isn't it dangerous if someone then buys its first Kobe set and has a good experience that they go on buying more?
More. Yeah.
Capitalism.
It's
That's the
a
market,
lot
I
of
guess.
that too, I think.
Competition.
Yeah. When they released the big giant Titanic, I think Kobe had done like 2 smaller different versions, because obviously the Titanic is, what is it, like 500 pounds or something around that. Whereas I think a Kobe, you can get one for like 150 and a slightly bigger one for 200. So, and I think even Jang did like a review comparing them all as well. So I don't know. For me, the idea of spending that sort of much, like, you know, 500-600 on a Titanic is just, you just wouldn't do it.
Right.
I just can't justify that. But maybe, you know, 100, 200, you know. So I think, as with anything, it's a distribution. It's, if you want to go out of your way to order it off the website, I'm sure you'll find it. But in terms of, you know, what we normally do, like an Amazon or walking into a Lego store or something like that. But yeah, it's been an interesting week. It feels like you've had the new releases, and then you've had a whole bunch of either announcements or leaks. Because the other things, the leaks that it seems to be, is that we're going to get a Star Wars diorama based upon the Clone Wars, Episode 1, and I think it's going to be the Bunta Pod Race, which is early next year, something like that. So that's, if they're starting to, you know, go back into the Clone Wars stuff, it's finally good to see, because obviously we've been getting some of the battle packs and, you know, the big gunship, and now we've got the small gunship coming. So it'll be good to have a diorama which is of the prequels.
Right.
So I guess they're starting to go around, because they've done the original trilogy now. Now that they've had the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, is it now time to start doing the prequels? And eventually they'll come back around to the sequels, right? In another, I don't know, 20 years? How long's it been since the prequels came out? It must be about 20 years. Is it 20, 25 years maybe? Oh, God.
Yeah.
God.
But yeah, it's good to see that the Clone Wars sort of things anniversary for Phantom Menace. When was that? That was 99, so it was still probably, what's that, 6 years off the 20th anniversary. But, you know, they'll do the 14th year anniversary or the 17th year anniversary.
Oh.
And the other thing, while we're still on the theme of Star Wars, it sounds like the next UCS for May the 1st or May the 4th next year is going to be a TIE Interceptor.
Yeah, that looks quite cool, or could be cool. At least the TIE Interceptor looks cool as a ship. I mean, I'm not going to get it, but yeah, could be good.
Yeah. No, we've got the X-Wing for this year's one, and I must admit I was a bit disappointed with it. I just found that the wings, like, okay, it's got a nice function, but they sort of just sit there and they're a bit floppy, and it's based upon rubber bands, and I find over time the rubber bands, if you leave them in there, they either stretch or they just deteriorate. So it's kind of,
yeah, it seems like a bit of a risky one, isn't it? That's every rubber band will deteriorate at some point, right? Well, at least small ones.
Right.
Yeah, it won't last, will it?
Yeah.
No.
And they seem to go much faster if they're like held under tension, which is generally what they're done. Because obviously they've just got that, you know, if they're constantly just being stretched even a little bit, it's not like you can kind of put it into a position where it's a bit more relaxed. But
do they provide spares or anything? Is it just enough for one time?
I'm just trying to think. I think they may
probably get one as a spare. I would have thought.
Yeah.
No more than that.
But I don't think that for any build I have ever gotten a spare one of the rubber thingy.
Yeah.
And then of course you had the cockpit piece scratched, didn't you? As well.
Yes. I sat down the other day and it's sort of like just making up my list of all the ones which I need to get replaced, because it's that one, it's the Galaxy Explorer, it's the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 car, the Mustang. There's about 5 or 6 of them.
When you talk to them, could you then ask them to send me for my Batmobile the 1989 the tiles on top of it?
Oh, they changed them over. Much the same. If I got the early release one, so if I can think about it, then yeah, changing it over to those glossy pieces, sort of thing. But that's an interesting thing, because I mean, it obviously retired. It was it was like a year or so ago now. So whether or not they'd still go, okay, yeah, you can have them, but
right, it's probably now too late. But I'm the same as you. I have the car for a couple of years now, and I kept always in the back of my mind, if I ever talk to Lego, I will then just mention it. I will not just call them up for these few tiles.
I think if they start putting the windscreens in,
and that's why sometimes I get a list of things.
I think they put for the new Corvette. Is it a Corvette that's just come out? The red car. They put the windscreen in a paper bag for that, I think. So maybe they'll start doing that for all of them.
Yeah. At least
they must have had so many people complaining about that. You always see people saying it was scratched. Like everyone that does a review says it came through scratched.
Yeah.
I had it with the botanical set. The dome piece, the two pieces that make up the dome on the top. I had that, so I had to bring it in, get replacements.
Yeah, I remember.
And yet they came in separate plastic bags, like you say. So I don't know why they don't do that inside the set. Don't put them with the rest of the pieces, because they're just going to jangle around in the box and just get scratched.
Yeah.
And it's so strange, because when you buy a Lego set, it's not that they are shy on using plastic bags. There are multiple plastic bags in plastic bags. So one more plastic bag wouldn't make a difference. It's not that they are all of a sudden thinking the environment, dolphins dying.
Has anybody had a set recently with the new paper bags? All paper bags. No, I haven't seen one either.
No. The only thing I've had is the base plates. But even then, I didn't know what to do with the bag, because I looked up whether you can actually recycle, because it's got like a bit of a plasticky sheen on the inside. It's not like just a paper bag. It's some kind of composite or something. So I looked up whether you can actually recycle it in the UK, and I couldn't find any actual definitive information. So I just ended up putting it in the bin, because I didn't want to write off a whole load of batch of recycling because of some rubbish. But at least hopefully it will it will degrade, at least if it ends up in landfill.
Yeah. I think one of my hobby complaints has always been, that they're worried about plastic and the environment, but it's like the toy is a plastic toy. Like, it's kind of what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
I guess there's damage limitations in there, but I'm more curious about how much energy they're actually using to make their paper bags in the first place. Like, in the long run, is their output gonna lower? I know, I think it was Ian from the BrickBods on something said about how it might use more to make the paper bags, but it's the whole perception. People the perception of people that they're doing good by having paper bags, like the consumers having paper bags so they can recycle, and that's the main thing that could be being catered to.
It would have been amazing.
Sorry, Nicole, you go.
No, it's just I thought it would have been amazing if they kept the plastic bags and just made it into zipper bags, so that you can reuse them.
Yeah. Well, there's other plastic options, right? There is biodegradable plastic. Again, though, I don't know how much that would cost to do, or I've always got it stuck in my head that whenever a company and it might change every year, but whenever a company does like something for the environment, it's usually a cost saving exercise. Because I had an interview at Lidl years ago now, and this guy gave a talk, and he was like, "Yeah, we hardly use any packaging, all of this, all of that." He's like, "I'm going to be completely honest, it's just to save us money, makes things more efficient. Any company that says otherwise, they're lying to you. It's just advertising." Yeah, it's purely because it's cheaper.
Yeah. Well, for us,
other supermarkets are available, folks.
Yeah, I should have leading German brand.
Yeah, and for us dinosaurs who like went through the 80s where McDonald's and that used to have everything in the styrofoam, like you used to have the clam styrofoam things for your burgers and everything like that, and very much what you were saying. They then changed them over to the current ones because it was seen as more environmentally friendly and and it actually turns out the old styrofoam ones were actually would break down faster, required less energy, and they would also keep your food warm, because when they went over to the other ones, a big complaint was, well, you know, the styrofoam used to keep like the hamburgers warm for like longer, and you went to the paper ones and they'd get there cold all the time. So but as I've been looking at some stuff, and it again, like when they're talking about electric cars and everything like that, in terms of, okay, yes, you're using charge and everything like that, but there's looking at the whole life of it. When you go through and build like the factories for the lithium batteries and all those sorts of things, it actually takes so much more energy to build that, and the components for the car and everything, and the carbon footprint for that can actually be larger than the traditional sort of petrol vehicle, like over the whole life, if you consider like the build to build the car plus the actual running.
Yeah, that's the thing with electric vehicles, or at least, again, this is old information I'm working on, but I think it was like the Prius used a ridiculous amount of energy because they were shipping parts across the world, basically, so they could be quality controlled, and yeah, all of this. And yeah, actually, like Killian's Brick says, I think things have changed. Now, sustainability's a big thing now, right? Like people strive for it, so it's gonna cost more now. People aren't doing it just because it's cheap.
Yeah, so and now that we've got, you know, confirmation, the Marvel Series 2 CMFs are going to be in the boxes, and I think as somebody, Minifig Who even said, well, yeah, within the boxes, then are you still going to have like little plastic bags or something, which I probably will end up doing.
I think they did that.
But I think we've covered that. So
I can't wait to see my 36 minifig box, because they look quite sizable. The new,
they do.
Yeah. Can you now imagine?
On the pictures, yeah.
And
is it
now
36 you get in the box now?
No.
Because I saw someone wasn't sure if it was 24 or 36. But
I get 36, and I'm very excited. Apparently, I get a theater in addition to it. It comes. It's from JB Spielwaren. I got my last CMF box from them, and it works like a charm. And this time I get a 36 minifig big box again. And in addition, they ship it with a theater, a movie theater, a brick-built movie theater. Yeah. Plus a Dreams polybag and a Dreams poster. Not sure why, but
why not?
What's this Dreams polybag? I keep hearing about this, and I need to get my hands on one.
I'm not really sure. Once
I didn't see anything in store when I went there.
The only person I know who's got it off of eBay. It's like one of them little
Z-blobs,
black baddies. The little baddies, and then
right.
I can't remember what the other one is.
Nightmare Catcher, probably.
I haven't heard of it either. It's just when I went to my shopping cart and got the confirmation, it said that I get a Dreams poster and this polybag as well.
Are you sure you wasn't dreaming it, Nicole? Did it actually happen?
I hope not.
Yeah, utterly disappointed when it comes to September and your CMFs don't arrive.
Right.
I'm sure I ordered it, unless I dreamt I ordered it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So we'll just quickly pop around, sort of see what is everyone working on tonight. Starting with Brick Askew. What are you pulling apart, putting together?
I'm
Building a
building
forest, I
something.
bet.
I thought I would build something though, so I dug out the Speed Champions. That one.
Ooh, nice.
Lotus, is it? I think it's a Lotus.
That's the one that had the complaint about the printing of that yellow line along the windscreen and the side windows.
Oh, really? I guess
Yeah.
I shall. Oh, I see. I haven't got that far yet. I'm only on the first bag. We shall see. But yes, I've got that, and if I get around to it, I've got the Blacktron Cruiser GWP as well that I might make.
Go through and get the rest of it there. Yeah, and Titanium J, I found the Dreams polybag at Legoland Discovery Center yesterday. I was searching for Ninjago plushies. Of course, it would be Ninjago related. So, yeah, good to see you around, TJ. It's always good having you in the chat there as well. And so with that, Nicole, what have you sort of going to be building, taking apart, zipper bagging tonight?
I was tempted to build the same set you are going to build, but then you mentioned that this will probably only take me an hour. And since I'm a really, really slow builder, I did not want to make it too obvious. If we end the stream at 1 in the morning after 4 hours of streaming, and I'm just on back 2, I thought I'd build something different. It makes it easier for me to cover my slow building. It's the Harry Potter. And it's the new suitcase, the Quidditch.
Okay.
Wait, let me show you the box. I think that's wiser.
Right.
That one.
That's, yeah, it's, can you just hold up the box next to the instructions and see if you can sort of do that? Because it's interesting when you held up the instructions. I don't know, maybe it's just that's only book 1 for part of it, but you look at the instructions and it's like the set's kind of like it's there, but it's a bit empty. But then when you look in the box, it seems like a lot more exciting and there's more stuff there. Or is that just my imagination?
No, definitely.
Yeah. I think it's the white color and the tiny picture. Yeah,
it just looks all washed out and like there's not actually much there. Like I'm not a fan of these white instruction books. It's like just no effort. But yeah, so okay, cool.
I have a feeling that it will not be as exciting as the first suitcase, because that I really, really like. I have it a couple of times in different versions. I really was a fan of it. What really kind of shocks me is look at the size of the instructions.
Oh, that could be like a new metric. It's sort of like, what is the sticker sheet size in relation to the instruction book?
Right.
That's hilarious. And so, yeah, excellent. Yeah, we'll just sort of see. I sort of like to build just a little set or something like that if I'm only going to do it on one stream, because, between hosting and everything like that, sometimes you don't get to do much, so you still feel like you've achieved something at the end of it. So having said that, Trevor, it looked like you had quite a selection of things you could have been building tonight. So what did you?
I'm going to be building this fantastical treehouse of the new Dreams range.
That does look cool, doesn't it? It's got some really cool pieces. I love these blue. I don't know what they are. They look like flames, but upside down.
I like the way you can actually as well. You've got, with all the Dreams sets, you've got 2 alternatives. I can build it as just a treehouse where all the dream catchers convene, or you can build like a battle series treehouse where they're defending themselves from the night catchers, the nightmare catchers.
Yeah. What are you leaning towards, or are you going to wait until you get to that?
I think I'm just gonna build the main part of the build, which is just the tree house where they all convene. So they're all different rooms. So I'm going to try that first. But interestingly, you mentioned about the covers, the white covers of the instruction booklets. The thing I like about this, it's all illustrated, and I think it's good to see that some effort's gone into these.
Oh, nice.
Trevor, can you show us the thickness of the book?
Yeah, that looked chunky.
Yeah. It's very chunky. And if I just show you inside, there's a few pages I've highlighted here just to show you what I mean. As you go through different stages of the build, it tells you about the characters, and it also, again, it's illustrated.
That's really cool.
So I think this isn't plain. This is there's some effort gone into this, and it's really, really nice. Again, you've got illustrations as you go through the book, which I think that shows that there's some effort gone into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's different pages for different colours, different parts of the build as well. And you can see that way it changes.
But and that explains the size of the book, because it looked like an old-fashioned telephone book.
It's really, it is really nice, and I like that with the illustration. I thought you'd appreciate that as well, Matt.
Yeah, it's like what you said. Being one of their own sort of properties in that, they obviously don't have that 10% tax for Disney or whoever else, and they can, do a little bit more. Like the prints on the minifigures look brilliant. As Ollie said, there's lots of new parts or recolors, and the prices are quite reasonable. So no, and I suppose the other thing is when there's two different builds, that's obviously going to add to the instruction book thickness as well.
Yeah, because I think when you get to part of the instructions, it will tell you. I can quickly find it. I had to flick through earlier. Should have bookmarked it. It tells you whether you want to go. Yeah, here it is. Which page you want to go to. So you follow blue if you wish to carry on. And then if you want the alternative build, you go to that page number, and then your pages turn to green.
It's like those old kids' books where you choose your own adventure.
Yeah. So you pick your own ending. So yeah.
Ah, cool. Yeah, it's I think KO's sort of come up, sort of saying interested in this shark ship. Other than that, wait around for October as I buy a lot of stuff until Lego Room finish plastering. So. I mean, that's always the thing. I just look at it and it's like, if I can get stuff at 30% off consistently, then over a period of time, it then means you're going to have 30% more Lego, or you save 30%.
So everything seems to go on sale fairly quickly, right?
Yeah. I think with some of it, they're chancing their arm at the pricing. So certainly one of the rumors we saw on, was it Promo Bricks or something like that? The Marvel next year, it looks like you're going to be getting one of the X-Men jets, which on first sort of thing you go, oh, that's cool and great. And then they had the price for it. It was like $80 for 359 pieces. So like, that they did that with the recent Marvel kit. It's sort of like 300 odd pieces, and it's like 80 pounds or something. Like your pricing is just way out of where it probably should be, and it's got me really worried that ship is actually going to be something pretty horrendous, and it's a shame because it's sort of like, of all things, that if you're getting the drop ship, which is 100, 150 or whatever, and it's a decent sort of thing, you're kind of happy with that. But imagine trying to do that drop ship at like $80 or something. It's just not going to be there.
Yeah, I wonder if the X-Men ship will have like specialist pieces, because it's quite a weird shape, right? I think you'd either need to use quite a few bricks to get the curves on it, or are they going to have bigger pieces custom made for that ship? And that's why.
Or do they go the way of like the Mandalorian Starfighter, where it's kind of flat and you get the hint of it being,
Yeah, okay.
Sort of.
I hope they do it right. It's quite. I mean, I used to love X-Men as a kid, and that's quite an iconic ship. Or
so you always with those things, it's like, well, if they don't do a great job, I'm sure somebody in Rubricable will take like 2 of them and do something better with them.
Right.
And then I think you've got Andy there saying he's ordered the Dreams van. So, yeah, with the bad influence, Nicole is sort of managed to pre-order the Shark one, which I actually got a dispatch notice a couple of days ago saying that it's shipped out. So,
I was really tempted to get it because 89 euros is a good price for it.
Yeah.
There's been some. I've seen a couple of cool mocks using the Dreams parts. There's Cheesy Studios, one of the American Lego masters, who got all the Dream sets, and because he's part of LAN, and so instead of doing reviews, he just built a big castle out of all of them, and I think used a whole bunch of pieces from that one in particular. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, brilliant. And then sort of speaking of one of the LAN, I think it's Iceberg Bricks. There's a link down in the description. He was on the Lego Masters show, and they recently reached out to him they're looking at trying to broaden their diversity and inclusion. So from what he said in his live stream, which is about 14 and a half minutes into it, I think it's, what was it? Is it Brick Nation 203 or something? So they've gone through and they've asked him to sort of come up with some designs and builds and things, which he's done, and they've sort of made a book out of it, which then they're sending out to different American families and things, and they're trying to really get Lego into hands of people who wouldn't normally have it. So I guess they're looking at sort of more the inclusion angle and things there.
Yeah, it seems like a really positive step.
Yeah, you've seen it?
Yeah. And because I saw them, because it was Mel and Corey from Lego Masters, they kind of kicked off the whole thing with Lego, I think, because of the Black Panther build last year. The Black Panther bust, where it was targeted at African American or black families, but it was way too expensive. And then
But why was the bust marketed at black families?
I think, or maybe not necessarily it probably wasn't actually marketed at them, but it's massively important. It was a big icon for black communities because of Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman, and that whole film is like a big celebration of black culture, from what I understand. So it's like a really important film. But then when this came out, black people were completely excluded, and so they kicked off in one of their episodes, or critiqued the whole thing and criticized Lego for not including anyone, because everyone in LAN they sent it to was white basically, and so it didn't have that connection, and it was really expensive. So where there's statistically black families are generally poorer and couldn't afford this.
But I wouldn't have seen the connection to it because it's a Marvel movie. It's not. It has a special meaning, especially the very first Black Panther movie had a special meaning because of the casting and everything. But when I saw the set, there was a lot that went through my mind with the coloring and when I saw someone build it. But I have never thought that there is a special dedication to the black community.
No, I think maybe that's the problem, is that because it is a big icon for the black community, but it seemed like they weren't taken into consideration for it, or if they were, it was completely miscalculated.
Okay. See? That's interesting.
But yeah, but now Lego seems to actually be including minority families in like their marketing and stuff, and and the whole thing about Iceberg Bricks being able to design some sets for it. Like one of the things they were saying was when talking about the Black Panther bust was that black people don't have a seat at the table, and now they were saying that actually Lego have taken positive steps towards that.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because inclusion should be for all. Yeah.
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 I mean, that was it seemed to really, it was interesting when they released that Everybody's Awesome set a couple of years ago, which is, I think, due to retire at the end of this year. And it was interesting reading the comments on the Lego Instagram post when they first did it, because it was very polarizing. There was people like, this is great, you're doing inclusivity, everything like that. And then other people be at the other extreme, just trolling the heck out of it. It's like, why do we need to do this? This is ridiculous. Da, 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 da. So it's, I find, obviously it's good that they're sort of trying to do that. And then also too, some of the minifigures now in terms of, particularly some of the Dreams ones, I think, some of the facial type markings and things like that, or minifigures that are disabled or not able-bodied, apologies if I'm not getting the terminology right, but in having wheelchairs and things like that, so sort of broadening it out, which I think, the number of times you see it, and even in that marketing that you're just talking about with those guys there, like one of the families that they'd sent it out to is sort of like, well, I'm seeing somebody there which is like me, so it gives it a more readily accessible sort of thing. I've always found it a bit interesting because from when I was quite little, the minifigures were just yellow smiley faces. That was it. There was nothing different.
Yeah.
I think the Simpsons also had a bit of the issue too. Is generally they're yellow, but then they started doing the Dr. Hibbits or things like that, who were then done as like brown characters. And I think for Lego, the first brown character, I'm sure someone in the chat can correct me, was it Lando Calrissian in Star Wars?
And I don't know in terms of figs, but like I know that in the Lego films, I think Morgan Freeman was the only black figure. Everyone else was yellow. Because that was the whole thing about Simpsons being like there's no skin tones because everyone's yellow except for the minorities who are brown. And then because then there's a whole thing around the jazz club, the modular this year, because it's sort of like New Orleans inspired, and jazz is obviously like steeped in black culture. But
the modulars always had yellow minifigures. It would be now weird if all of a sudden they would bring different colors, because they have a theme in it. Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, these licensed theme, kind of skin colored figures, and city, and what others? I think ideas as well. No, ideas could be tricky, but modular, they always had the yellow.
I think they have actually done everyone being yellow, right? It's not like the Simpsons where some are yellow, but not everyone. So I don't know where I fall on that, but I know that the people didn't. Not everyone appreciated that.
Yeah,
but it's a tricky one, because I guess at least with Lego they have done everyone being yellow, but it's a tricky line to walk, isn't it?
Provocative thought. You mentioned that a set was given to a family who otherwise wouldn't have been able to afford it. Would it be an interesting thought to entertain if it were a thought worth considering for Lego, to give free Lego to schools instead of LAN and other people, with or without YouTube channel?
I think it's a very interesting question. I think you got two things there. The way which I look at sometimes LAN is it is extremely cost-effective marketing channel for Lego in terms of you're providing a set to content creators who have built up their communities and everything like that. And, unless something horribly goes wrong with that, I don't see that ever really changing.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy for them to do. So I think you can kind of park that to one side. And then I think in terms of then, it's a good question to be asking is if Lego sort of doing more of the community outreach and things like that, what is the more effective way? Is it getting into schools which might be in the lower socioeconomics or, they call them league tables here or whatever, but, ones which historically don't perform well, or they don't have as many high achievers or university places or whatever. It's an interesting sort of thing to ask. And I think there was a comment which sort of thinking about this, Lego is a business, they're there to make money. And I think about, and this is probably horrible, but it's so extreme, smoking once upon a time used to just be males only. And it was, considered very bad if females ever smoked or anything like that. And the companies sort of turned around and went, wait a minute, there's another half of the market there we're not reaching. So they sort of, very quickly sort of went and did a whole bunch of advertising to make it socially acceptable for women to be smoking. So then, they've got another part of the market there. So it's with Lego doing these sorts of things, where does it stop being some sort of altruistic type, everyone's being included, and it becomes more, this is a way that we can expand our market into areas which might not otherwise be as accessible.
Yeah, right.
And then is it marketing in itself as well? If they can, depends how loud they shout about, if they're giving Lego to schools, if they then shout about that, is it just a marketing exercise, or are they actually being altruistic? It would be awesome. I'm sure they could afford to, especially if they're saving loads of money on marketing through LAN, and God knows how much profit. Well, actually, I'm sure they state how much profit they make. I'm sure it'd be in keeping with the whole Lego ethos to give to schools.
Yeah, I guess it's what pays out in the end most. How many people do really watch YouTube videos, and how many of these buy Lego? How many go just get off the street and walk into a Lego store or shop it via Amazon? And would it be an investment to bring it to schools who then, in the end, once they learn how good Lego is, in older years, go back to Lego and buy it when they have real money to spend on it?
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
Getting into the human mindset and marketing.
Right. And
Yeah.
it depends on how the market changes. Imagine in 5 years, there is a split of the economy. People cannot afford Lego anymore. They start buying other brands, figuring out how good they are, and then continuing buying these sets. Maybe then it would be interesting for Lego to bring it to the schools to, like, I can remember when I was at a rather young age going partying, there were people out there who gave us little packages of cigarettes for free while we were out in bars.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be.
You can't see Lego doing a value range just yet, can you? With the prices of everything. But I mean, it's like you say, inclusion and having everything accessible to all. But sometimes when you look at Lego, it's not really accessible to all, is it? I mean, you're stretching it for a little Land Rover for £13 or £14, which is what we call pocket money. We went through the other week on another stream. But when you start edging, like Thomas wanted that Venomized Groot, you're looking at £40, £50 then. So it's not really accessible to a child. There's not a lot of kits when you look at their cost. They're really accessible to a lot of people, I don't think.
Right.
And like you say, the prices just keep going up and up and up. And I think if it wasn't for the AFOL community buying everything up, we're struggling.
Yeah.
I did see a Reddit post the other day. I know no idea about how accurate it is or anything, but it was basically saying that Lego's not really actually, relatively speaking, taking inflation and everything into account, hasn't really gone up that much, like in terms of at least price per brick and price per gram or whatever. But they are bringing out more expensive sets, so they're bigger sets. They're more bigger sets than they were before. So that kind of skews it, because you're not.
I suppose we're getting new
like
pieces as well. We're getting new pieces, so that obviously takes extra money to generate new pieces.
Yeah, I mean that's been one of the interesting things when I've done the top 5 most expensive for going backwards in all the years and things like that. Because obviously, people in Lego love to complain about the price and things like that, which, for better or for worse. But when I'm still looking at, okay, yes, there's people can have issues with it, but the price per piece ratio generally is holding about the same. It's around about the 10p, 10 cents. There's slight variation within that. But what's happened and what Ollie's hinting at here is the biggest sets have got more pieces in them. So you are just inherently, okay, if your price per piece is staying the same and you've got so many more pieces, and we're talking like, the average over the last 15 years has gone from about 1,500 to 2,000 pieces in the top end sets to, 7,000 or 6,000. You're just actually getting physically a lot more Lego. So yes, your price has gone up, like the number there, but you could argue that the value is the same. And certainly some of the more recent videos been watching of James, and he sort of does a lot of the inflation adjusted and whatever. I don't know the details of what he's doing and whether he's just going along to, one of these websites which you can go, okay, if the price is this today, what was it 10, 15 years ago? Because he did this on his recent gunship sort of one. He's sort of like, actually, from a price point of view, this is about the same as what it was before, but the set is a bit smaller, but it's got a lot more sort of smaller pieces in with it. So it's kind of like on par. It's kind of about the same. Do I still want to pay $150 for it? No, I'd like to pay $120. But again, going back to sort of what Ollie's sort of hinting at there, when you're looking at inflation and things like that, it's probably not that far out. So it's...
Yeah, I wonder if someone did a study on it, because I keep on seeing sets where I individually think to myself, that's not really the price. It seems that something went out of shape. Like you said, what was the other set which had 300 pieces but cost 80 euros or pounds?
The X-Men jet or the Marvel's new jet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're always going to get outliers. Like that to me just seems, both of those ones, like that when you look at some of the other Marvel stuff which has been released, it's nowhere near that kind of crazy thing. And even in this supposed leak, which I think the graphic was on Brick Fanatics, it had like 8 or 9 Marvel sets, and most of them were in about 10 to 11 cent part per range, apart from this one, which was just way out of kilter. Like it's almost 20, 22 sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think if you take...
What do you think of the advent calendars? Because I believe, I wish I had kept kind of documentation. I strongly believe that I paid maximum 25 euros for an advent calendar.
Well, that's where you can go onto Brickset, brickset.com, and when you put the set in, generally it will give you the retail price. You've got to be careful, though, of some sets which, like Assembly Square and things like that, like if you look at the retail price for that, it will be the current retail price, which has obviously had a couple of increases. But generally, it will give you the retail price if it hasn't moved. So you can go back to the older advent calendars, and they seem to be pretty accurate, or pretty much spot on. So that was going to be one of the next things. We're starting to get some photos and releases of the advent calendars, which I think they're usually a September release. So, does anybody have any thoughts around those?
I am
Really?
not fussed about advent calendars, Lego advent calendars either. Like, yeah,
You're
no,
happy. You're
I'm
sweet.
fine.
I think Tom
And
would like the Star Wars one. I must admit that's pretty good. I didn't think the Marvel was a brilliant one last year. So yeah, the Star Wars one, that does look good. But the City one, I don't think I'll bother with. I generally have one, and then Tom has one. Will doesn't really bother with them now, but he
Yeah.
prefers chocolate to Lego now.
It's definitely less expensive if you go for the chocolate one.
I think that's it. I haven't seen what the price per piece and all that is, like the value of it, but when they're like 30 quid for, I know you get 24 little builds or 25, however many it is, but I don't know, it just seems.
But maybe once you buy it for the builds, after that, everyone who buys it, I guess at least 99%, buy it for the minifigs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And you do get some exclusives, right? But I'm not, I guess for a winter build, it's quite good to have. But then you'd have to use them the next year, really, because you want to get your winter build up and I don't know what, end of October, November. But you're only opening.
Yeah, because you've got, I think they're going to release the Nutcracker, aren't they? Some gingerbread men for the tree, some baubles. I think that's what I've seen up to now.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, for the advent calendars, for the first one and even maybe the next one, I was kind of fascinated with the micro builds.
Yeah,
with
'cause
the people that you look at, and I thought you could have shaken me and beat me. I never would have thought of getting a gunship or an X-wing out of these builds.
Yeah, it's quite clever what they do, and I think with the advent calendars, it just opens new doors for people, doesn't it?
Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Maybe I need to give them a chance. Oh, I missed that. That was awful.
Wake up, buddy! Come on,
Lucky you.
That was my fault because I was in Waterstones when I went to visit the Lego store. Walked around Sheffield Meadow Hall, and I went in Waterstones. All the bookshops obviously available, but I picked up. Tom pointed out it was the world's best dad joke book. I said, "Oh, that's right up my street." So I'm going to flick through there. Till I looked at the price, I thought, "No, I met my own up.
Yeah,
write my own book."
Right. All right, the prince.
There's one of those shorts going around on. Oh, sorry, there's one of those shorts going around on, the very short form platforms, and it's sort of like dad joke survivors, and they have like the really bad dad joke and the kid or the family or whatever, and it's like, how are we putting up with this? And but I think getting back to the thing and point Nicole raised in terms of number of minifigures and things like that, again, some people have been doing the analysis on it. It seems like, say, the Star Wars ones, there's slightly less of the main minifigures. It's like a few years ago, you get 8, 9 pretty consistently, whereas now it's like 5, 6 plus a couple of droids, which is sort of like, yeah. I mean, it's good that you get the fugly jumpers on some of them, like the Darth Vader one or things like that we've had in the last couple of years. I guess the only thing with it, though, is, yes, they're very, one-off sort of ones, but you are only going to use them either at Christmas or a Winter Village scene. Like, you're not going to have a mock with, your little clone troopers and everything like that, and then there's Darth Vader Christmas one in the middle of it. I mean, some people do if that's the humor or the gag of it.
Aren't they doing a diorama as well, a Star Wars diorama Christmas special in October?
It's a Millennium Falcon one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All standing around a turkey.
Yeah.
But the advent calendars, for Nicole can probably attest to it. Each year I usually do a daily sort of little opening with a bad dad joke in there. So and it's kind of funny because everybody groans at it and things like that. But I have a very set format, which I've been doing since, I think, Facebook days. And last year I noticed there was like 3 or 4 other people who actually copied the format exactly. And it's like, wow, okay then. So
Copyright. Can't do that.
It's because it's sort of like there's three parts to it. There's the box, the opening, the building, and then a bad joke or something like that. And it's sort of like, copied all three of it. And it's like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah. And not even crediting you.
So it's the internet. People are going to steal from everyone. It's what is it? Imitation is a sincerest form of flattery or something. But the other one, which is sort of seen come out, it's not a property I know anything about. Dune. It looks like there's at least a set coming for that. I mean, has anybody seen that or any thoughts?
I'm definitely intrigued by it. It made me kind of think of the tall neck from Horizon Forbidden West game, like a one-off kind of like cool build. I'm hoping it's in that kind of vein where it's really cool. But I did look up what vehicle it is. I can't really remember now. But yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. Sounds interesting.
Okay. Because there's been that one which is rumored, and then there's sort of like another follow-up one rumored for the year after, I think, as well.
Okay, I was kind of hoping if it was a one-off thing. I think that's what intrigues me more, the whole like one-offs. Like the tall neck or the idea sets and that.
Because the film, it came out last year, didn't it? It did reasonably well from what I can remember.
Yeah, I did like it. I can't remember it, but yeah, I remember that I enjoyed it. Got to watch it again at some point.
KO, I got a HP calendar from last year for Ruby Sword and my castle theme mock. Yeah, it can come down to what themes they do, and how they go in. One Brick Stud talking about advent calendars. I think Ninjago should have an advent calendar each year. That's an interesting idea.
That'd be good.
Talk to TJ and make it happen. But are there any other themes which we'd like to see have their own sort of advent calendar? Dreams?
That could be an interesting one.
Maybe a Dimension style one, where it's kind of all sorts of IPs mixed together.
Yeah. Bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. And
Lord of the Rings.
And you could sort of see.
Okay. I would get a Lord of the Rings one. Yeah, that would make me feel better about not buying Rivendell.
Maybe with them all with their fugly Christmas jumpers.
Yeah, I agree with TJ. Ninjago really should have an advent calendar. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would.
I'm surprised, given the number of dragons and everything. Yeah, why they wouldn't, sort of thing.
Isn't there
something for TJ to get on?
Ninjago. It's been 10 years. I think someone was saying, I can't remember who was saying they want to retire Ninjago because it's been going on for too long and they want something new. But maybe that's all completely made up.
Wasn't there a Ninjago advent calendar?
No, I don't think there has been. I'm sure TJ would correct us if there had. I think the thing with Ninjago, though, is that it appeals to, generally, being aware that TJ's around there, it generally appeals to a younger demographic. So it's the sort of thing that, it might only hit their sweet spot for 3 or 4 years. So they come through, they get 3 or 4 years, and then it's kind of like the next generation coming back through. So the next generation hasn't seen that mech or whatever else. So they can sort of refresh it and redo it. So Certainly when the kids, go out to Legoland and, they're totally into the Ninjago themes and things like that. And certainly if you stay at the hotels, they've got like different theming. You have Ninjago nights, friends, castle, and trying to get a Ninjago room, you always had to book like 6 months to a year in advance. It was usually one of the first ones to get snapped up, sort of thing.
Ninjas are cool, though, aren't they?
So, but the other thing which was starting to do the rounds as a rumor is that the Star Wars helmets set might be winding up. Did you guys hear that? Have any sort of thoughts on it?
I mean, it's one of the things that I stopped buying. So it's only logical that Lego now starts to stop producing them. The moment that...
Yeah, because you're not influencing anybody, Nicole.
Right.
That's what it is.
Because what have they brought out in its place? I remember this was they were talking this a bit ago. Is it the dioramas that may be replacing them? Because it's a more adult-focused thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I do seem to be doing more of that. I mean, I did wonder that they were going to stop doing or phasing out architecture, because that's what got me back into Lego. And yet, obviously, with the new one that's just come out, but we don't get many. We used to get, I think, 4 or 5 in a year. I think that's our second one this year.
What was it?
Don't really do so many now.
The Pyramid of Giza. That was last year. Was there one between the Pyramid of Giza and the Eiffel Tower? Was that architecture?
Doesn't really fit classes at 18. That one.
Yeah. But you've got, what is it? Is it the 3 sets which are out forever, which is the London, Paris, and New York skylines.
There was Las Vegas.
There's the White House, isn't there? And the Taj Mahal? Is that
Yeah, the mini Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
So...
I think the Statue of Liberty.
Yes, yeah. And then, Pyramid of Giza as well.
Yeah. The White House, the second and the first one.
Yeah.
So it almost seems like between the perennial ones, which, just the ones which haven't retired, there's always some architecture on, there's a fair number of sets always there. So even if you're only refreshing a couple every year now, you probably don't need to do more than that. But certainly some interesting ideas in the chat in terms of the dioramas replacing the helmets, where I thought somebody said there, Ben's Bricks Designs, they might just be running out of recognizable helmets. Because I guess when you think about it, even when they did sort of like Luke Skywalker, they didn't do him as a character, they did like his helmet as such. So, but I do find it a little bit hard to believe, though, that Star Wars wouldn't have enough characters which have got full masks or what on to be able to do it. Maybe they're just not the mainstream ones.
It might get quite obscure. Because it's meant to be like the helmet, right? It's not their face, I think. It's not like the head, it's the helmet specifically. Yeah, there's loads of helmets.
Yeah.
But it would get...
Yeah, I could imagine that facial expressions are really difficult to do.
Yeah.
Especially with one that you recognize, like, oh, sure.
And also possibly a bit weird with just heads, a row of heads on your shelf. Decapitated heads.
Oh.
But it seemed like as a collectible sort of line, like it seemed to have legs. Like it just seemed like, I guess this is where when we never know sales numbers, some people are going to be invested in that. They're going to be buying them regardless of what comes out. So,
There's one that's really expensive now, isn't there? The TIE Fighter pilot. It's like 180 quid, 200 quid.
Yeah, but I think that had more to do with supply and demand. That was one which was generally an exclusive, and I think it only stuck around for like a year, sort of on the shelves. So it caught nuts. It was like the first one to retire, and it looked to be like a really good build. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then TJ suggesting, between the dioramas and the MIDI scale buildable characters. Yeah, I suppose that was one of the other things I forgot was releasing was those like Star Wars mech things.
But all the mech things look weird now. I looked at the Batman mech and thought to myself, I'm not really sure. I was looking forward to mechs with faces, but now this partial face from Batman, the whole figure looks strange. Doesn't it?
Yeah, the Spider-Man ones as well, right? Like the head shape is weird.
Yeah.
For starters. And also the little mechs, like the Marvel mechs, are a bit odd. The fact that you can't move their elbows, move their arms properly. It's a bit of a shame because the Wolverine, the one that came out last year, like there was a Wolverine, Iron Man, and Black Panther mechs, and they were really cool because you could move they're really like posable. Is that the word? You can move everything around basically, and you could put them in all sorts of poses. But now you can't bend the knees or the elbows, and it's a bit of a letdown.
With that. And just hold that thought for a moment. We have somebody else joining us along who I was fortunate enough, I suppose it's a week or so ago when they were down in London, was able to meet and catch up with them, which was really cool. And I think they've now managed to get back home and probably a good time to bring some more Disney content into the stream. So welcome along to Bonnie's Bricks. How you going?
Hi everyone. How are you all doing?
Hey.
Good.
It's good to be back. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm still sorry for my appearance. I'm still a little bit unwell, but I just wanted to catch up with everyone. So the content has been slow on my part and things like that. But I couldn't miss your stream again, Matt. I was gutted to miss it last time. So I wanted to see how the gang were doing and what you're all chatting about. But it's good to be on and see how everyone's doing in the chat as well.
Excellent. No, the one thing which we were talking about before was advent calendars, and if there are themes that should be possibly suggested for that. And there's somebody who suggested Disney. And I thought,
oh gosh, yes,
that was an interesting suggestion. Do you normally get advent calendars?
Well, of course, I only started collecting Lego like a year ago. And so that's only been like one Christmas that I've been like collecting Legos, and we did actually like get them all. Well, we didn't get them all. We got the Star Wars, Marvel one, the Harry Potter one. But we've actually said in hindsight we're not doing that again because that was just silly money for something that would be discounted heavily, like quite shortly after. And we were just doing it for like the minifigs, and obviously the amount of minifigs you get, and then these little builds they end up just taking apart and parting out anyway. But I don't know. I've literally just, funnily enough, I only just went on Instagram there and saw a picture revealing them all now. And I'm like, I don't know. I do find it a little bit frustrating. I don't know about everyone else, but like it's always the same themes, it seems. And I'm just a bit like, why can't there be a bit of a change up, maybe? Like swap some out for different themes. I think that would be really good. Like I think I saw someone suggesting Jago. Disney is a no-brainer, of course. But
Disney 100 as well. It seems like weird to do it, right?
Got it. Yeah. Such a good point.
Maybe they will. Maybe it'll be a surprise.
That would be a nice surprise. That would be a very welcome one. I would definitely be buying that for sure. Wouldn't be waiting for that to get discounted. But then there's this whole thing that everyone hates, that people open them, like, and put all the pictures online, and
Yeah.
some people haven't opened theirs yet. I remember that being a thing last Christmas, that people were like, oh, it's another day in December, so people will be opening. I was like, oh, good thing I never done that, because we talked about doing it, like, because that's when I started my Instagram, like, to get more followers and a bit of engagement. But I was like, oh, good thing I didn't do that now. It seems to have caused a bit of a ruckus. But is there any
Yeah,
that
but
you guys
that's
always
part
collect?
of the fun. You need to sometimes bring disruption into the community. If it upsets people, let's do it.
Oh, controversial. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at
I'm definitely one of those
the builds and
midnight
stuff.
sort of people. But... Yeah, no, I'm one of those midnight people, but it's midnight in the UK, but it's like 9 o'clock, or it's 10 o'clock in Australia, which sort of hitting that market as well. So, but no, it's always interesting, because I always notice around the 1st of December or the 2nd or 3rd, the number of followers on Instagram, surprisingly drops down for a bit. So it's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, all making sense now. But yeah, I don't think I'll jump on that wagon again, just because it is a bit. I mean, it's fun, but I just don't. I haven't looked at the builds and the minifigs for the calendars that have been released for this year, so I don't know if there's going to be anything overly exciting that I would want to share. I wouldn't just be doing it for the sake of content. I would probably just do it if I was actually enjoying the calendar. But I don't know if there's. I don't know if there's one that I might get. I'm sure Aaron will want to get the Star Wars one. But yeah, I don't know. Is there any themes that you guys always get, or is it not really your themes that you're interested in?
Sorry, Bonnie, I've only just noticed I've been on mute, so welcome. Sorry, I was talking to you. I was talking to you all. I was thinking, why nobody? I just sit here in the corner, and I'm on mute. Sorry about that.
Just ignoring you.
Having a conversation with myself. I always go for the Star Wars. Tom loves the Star Wars person. Yeah, Star Wars.
I do like it when they give the minifigs little Christmas jumpers and things like that. I think last year's one, it was Darth Vader with a holiday flip-flop, holiday flippers, like he was beach Darth Vader or something like this. I thought that was quite funny. So maybe, I don't know, is it worth it maybe for those minifigs, I suppose? No.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's the novelty of it that puts me off almost, because it's like we were saying, you can only use it at a certain time of year. It's not.
Not get excited about every day, every new morning opening a new door. Come on.
No, I'm alright.
But we were really bad for remembering as well.
But aren't you guys impressed by the instructions? Because when you build a set, each side, one piece, maybe 2 or 3, then you open an advent calendar, which in theory is for children, and then I stare at these little pieces, and there are, I don't know, half a dozen pieces, and you just get one picture, and you are supposed to figure out where these pieces go.
Yeah, I must admit, Tom had one, I think it was a city one, and I was looking at this little tiny diagram first thing in the morning over breakfast, and he said, I want to build it. I couldn't work it out. I thought, what are we doing wrong here? It's tiny. It's just a little diagram. Come on.
Right.
I swear Lego put them in as little tiny puzzles for Christmas.
Right. And sometimes I look at it and think to myself, I have no idea what I did. It's ship. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, the minifig, going back to the Disney thing, he's saying, would it not be around the £60 mark being Lego if they did a Disney one? But I'm a bit like, surely they would mark it up if it was Star Wars. I don't know, because I think Star Wars is on par with Disney, in terms of how big it is. I don't think Marvel's quite as up there. I'm probably going to peeve off so many people right now. But I think it's kind of Star Wars and Disney, and then Marvel's right underneath as well, in terms of value, being lack of a better word. So I don't know. I feel like it should be the same price, but then they might mark it up if they did a Disney 100 one. But I really don't understand why they're not doing one. I find it offensive. I might write them a letter.
Good old letter of complaint.
Yeah, oh, it would just be so good though, wouldn't it? Oh, but yeah.
But would you want to have people who have been working on the Disney 100 stuff and doing it brilliant, all of a sudden then be distracted and have to be on an advent calendar?
Yeah, because I would love Disney like Christmas specific minifigs and things like that. I know you were saying, Ollie, that you wouldn't like that, but like everyone, like, well, we've got our winter village started from last year. We didn't actually finish it on time for like December, so we've learned from that again. We're going to start it like probably mid-November, but it would be really cool to integrate all the kind of advent calendar minifigs into it as part of your.
Yeah,
like,
that would be cool. Yeah, because that's what I
Yeah.
was saying earlier. Like, I mean, I was kind of saying it as a negative, but I guess it would be possible. You couldn't use them until the next year, right? Because if you've got your winter scene, I suppose you add them each day.
Yeah.
As you
But
get them.
you don't otherwise use your winter village normally.
No, mine's
until
in my
Christmas,
loft.
so-
I was thinking about
Yeah.
this yesterday. I don't even know if I'll do a winter village this year. We'll see.
Oh, I got to do it. We've all got to do one.
Yeah,
no
probably
matter how
will,
big or
but-
small. It's so good to see everyone's. I love seeing everyone's winter village because Christmas is my favorite time of year. So, yeah.
If you get it out now, Ollie, it'd be defrosted for Christmas.
Strikes
Oh
again.
yes, I will. I will, minifig who. I will write to them.
Well, I've ordered my Disney
Suppose now
camera. Talking
too.
of Disney, pre-ordered it.
Oh, you've ordered it, Trev. Oh, so I've not ordered it yet. I can't remember
Yeah.
what day is the 1st of September. See,
Friday. You said you're off, didn't you?
oh, I think I might be off actually. Yeah, because one
Yeah,
of us
you
is
said-
always off on a
yeah.
Friday for childcare. But the issue is that today we got through a mortgage in principle, so we're actually looking to move ASAP.
Oh, congratulations.
So,
Congrats.
yeah, so
Congratulations.
everything is like a go. We're going to get a skip this weekend. We're going to clear everything out. I don't know. We might even probably in that skip there might be Lego boxes. I don't know. Who knows? We might have to shed some Lego boxes because we were talking about this not that long ago. And yeah, all this packing in these boxes is just going to keep happening. Because yeah, I don't think viewings of the house will go as well as it would maybe with like Lego everywhere. So we might have to tidy
I
up.
don't know. You might get some enthusiasts there.
Yeah, I don't
Giving
know.
them some ideas where they can put all their Lego.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But so that's kind of priority, unfortunately, at the moment. But yeah,
Are
I
you
just don't
taking
know.
Lego to the viewing? Like, okay, do you mind? I just need to see that set, whether it fits in the right light.
Oh, I don't. That would be. I mean, I feel like there's some sets that actually might look quite nice, but I don't want to move my castle, my Disney castle, but that's quite a big build. Like, I don't know.
I'd say,
just
was the
boxes.
castle part of the move, or does it go with you? Does it stay?
Definitely not. It's coming with us.
You might
We
get a
use
Disney
centerpiece.
fan. You don't know.
Yeah, yeah. But there's Rivendell there as well, and there's just too much going on. Like, this is partly why we need to move, because we're even a bit like, ugh, this is just getting a bit messy and just disorganized and discontinuous with the themes going on. And there's now a Ninjago mech up there that Aaron sneakily bought one day. Purely, I think, well, his argument is because he bought it. Matt, I don't know if you remember when we went to the Lego store in Leicester Square. Is it Leicester Square? Yeah, and we saw the dragon, the little grey dragon that's in Ninjago now.
Yeah.
So he bought the mech that the dragon comes in. So he was unpacking it and everything. And obviously the little dragon comes as his own little figure, and he was like, "Here you go." I was like, "Okay, I'll have the dragon," just so he could build the mech. But yeah, I feel like the Disney camera would look quite good on display though for viewings. Might look quite classy. I don't know.
I reckon the Disney castle would be a good one. Just get people talking.
Yeah, maybe. And my mum's already given me some tips. She's like, make sure you make a nice fresh pot of coffee and bake some cakes so the house smells very homely.
Oh,
And that will
Yeah,
attract buyers.
buy a candle that's like you baked homemade bread. Something.
That would be easier actually, Trev. That's a good shout rather than baking.
Just a candle, yeah, just a candle. Give off the scent.
That's ridiculous.
Put your penny on.
yeah.
Oh, so, I'm so sorry. I've just been baking.
Yeah. But so I don't know when all that's going to happen. I'll keep everyone updated. But that is and we need to get a car as well. So it's all all happening.
Well,
Just for
that's good news.
funsies.
Best of luck to you both.
Yeah,
Best of luck to
well,
you both.
it's a little bit stressful, so it's not helping like the health.
Yeah, it's a stressful thing. I've been going through the same thing. I'm kind of hopefully near the end of the whole process now, but
Oh, I hope
yeah.
so. It's just
I
that
was-
way. It's exciting, but you just want it to be sorted, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with everything going on. We were trying to figure out what kind of mortgage, and I'm getting into mortgage talk. I won't go for long, but yeah, trying to figure out how the UK economy is going to be in 2 or 5 years' time and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've
But
had similar talks.
Lego room out at the other end of it is fine.
Yeah,
Balances
you just
out.
can't know. Can't know. The interest rates were meant to get better, and then apparently yesterday is when they hiked up from, like today they hiked up from yesterday like another percent or something.
Yeah.
So everyone that's not in the UK is gonna be like, what? Like, don't really understand. But,
Yeah.
making it back to Lego, why don't we all just build a big Lego house and live in a building of bricks, of plastic bricks? That would be nice. But yeah, part of that is though it needs to have a garage so we can convert it into a Lego room. That is.
Yeah, Lego room's a requirement.
Yeah. So that is definitely part of the whole process, the whole move. Here's hoping. But, yeah. So I don't know what September 1st will be
Do you
like
think
for
you're
us.
going to go far, or is it just local?
That's funnily enough the one thing that we haven't really decided on. I think we're still looking at just Central Belt. It would be quite nice to be sort
Less
of.
than a mile from the Lego store.
See, I think we'll end up further away. Unfortunately. Well, right now we're in the middle of the two, Glasgow and Edinburgh, but I don't know. We might shift slightly towards the Glasgow one. I'm not sure, but no, I don't see us being closer, to be honest. But that's fine. It'll be more of an event when we go, and yeah, we have to start ordering online, which is a bit sucky, but we'll probably save money actually, because I do tend to like pick up other stuff on release days that maybe didn't plan on buying. So yeah, but I watched your release day haul video, Trev. That was really good. I really enjoyed watching that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we had lots of fun making that.
Yeah, you could tell, and it was really nice that Tom
good.
was able to help with the displays and stuff like that. That was cool.
Yeah, well, I say shout out to Jackson, the Sheffield store. He was brilliant. He said, "Oh, come over, and I'm going to put the sets out. Do you want me to help me put them on display?" So he loved that. That was really good.
Did he just ask Tom that, or did he ask you both? Did you get offered as well, or?
No, he just asked Tom.
Oh.
And I asked him if we wouldn't mind filming, and he said no, because he doesn't mind that. So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
And I enjoyed putting the intro together, because the whole idea of the video was to try and coincide with dreams. So yeah, it worked out well, that did.
Yeah, that point was very clear, Trev. I think everyone got that. I just love how you do the overlays in your videos as well. It's really clever.
Yeah, waking up from a nightmare.
The Lego store is empty. Oh. What's everyone saying in the chat?
Talk of AFOL Day. Are
Is
you
there
guys?
another one coming up?
Yeah, 16th of September, I think it is.
Oh.
Are you guys in? Like, do you do AFOL Day? Are you in lugs and that?
No.
See, I'm in a lug, but I've never actually been able to attend an event with them yet. Like, I've been to ones where they've been displaying and all this kind of thing, and I've talked to a couple, but like I've not been able to participate.
Yeah, same.
And I've not been to like an AFOL day.
Because you have to sign up through your lug.
Yeah.
And then they give you a badge on your VIP card.
Yeah, I've had that email through, so it shows
okay.
on it selectively. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, wait, it's not there now.
Yeah,
but,
it changed last
yeah.
year. At some point you had to reapply, I think.
Yeah, but I've paid my membership fee, so it should be there.
Yeah.
I think I just need to make an effort to, like, when it's AFOL day, go to the Lego store when I know that they'll all go. And I think some of them wear like these hoodies that make them really easy to spot. Like these, like, it's the tartan lug for us, like all of Scotland in the one lug, obviously. And they wear these like sky blue saltire blue hoodies and stuff, so they should be quite easy to spot. But I don't know, like I'm quite an outgoing person, but I'd feel a bit like, hello, I'm in the lug too.
Yeah, I don't know, because I think because I'm in Brickish, which is like across the whole country. I think it's the whole of UK. I don't think it's just England. But yeah, so I don't really know how many people Southampton are actually in Brickish or in other ones. I think everyone I meet up with is actually. Having said that, but we don't get together because we're in Brickish. It just happens that we're there.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be good if there was more like a universal platform that just all lugs used, and then it was like more developed for like user friendly. Because I think I've said this before, but I feel like the tartan lug uses quite an outdated platform, so it's quite hard to keep up to date with posts and things like this.
Yeah, I think Brickish uses Facebook more than anything. I think it has got its own website and forum and that, but it's like, I don't know, it must be a few years old now. It's like a classic old school forum.
Yeah, that's what ours has got as well. I think that's what most stuff gets posted on, so it's easy to miss things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is. I feel like they always do an AFOL day. Did they not do the last one right after like a Disney release as well? I feel like
it seems to be after bigger releases. See, but then every month's a big release now, I guess. But yeah. I was trying to figure out what I could get. But it's awesome to get 15% off of like Rivendell or something like that.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Yeah. It's making me think, should I hold off? Because I think, was it an AFOL day that was coming up? There was something that was coming up and I was like tempted to hold off. I think it was maybe when the Villains set came out, and I thought, I was like absolutely adamant that that was a set that was going to sell out. So I just bought it on release day. And then it did sell out for a while actually. And I think over whatever the discount day was that I was potentially going to hold out for. I don't know if it was AFOL day or if it was something else. And yeah, so I'm like, I'm in the same situation again. Like, do I buy the camera?
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Yeah, like, or do I have to wait until another?
Although, Trevor, you need to not listen now. The camera already is listed on Amazon, so chances are...
Get into the German Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, yeah.
And Nicole's affiliate Amazon link is down below.
You definitely need to get an affiliate link.
Yeah, you'd make a packet, you would, Nicole.
No, you should. I've got one, but I just don't know how to like use it, so I don't share it because it's, I don't know, like the thing. It's like different links and it's to like specific products, and I'm like, how does this work? So I've just forgotten about it. I've been threatened that they're going to close my account because I've not used it.
But I think if you're an affiliate, I have no real knowledge, but from what I'm told... I'm okay. Truth is out now. I'm the owner of Amazon.
Right, can we have a private chat after this stream, please?
Right.
A couple of things I'd like.
I will send my jet over to you.
Jet.
No, but if you have, if you are an affiliate of Amazon and you post a link to a certain set, like you are building a dream set, and you put the link to the dream set in the chat or in the description, and someone clicks on the link while surfing, I heard that then the other purchases are counting towards you as well.
Yes. So long as it's done within a 24-hour period. Because when I was doing it a lot more aggressively, I would be doing it on different Lego things. And then, somebody would buy like a TV or a toaster or something like that. And particularly some of the electronics, you got some really good commission rates on. But I think, as with anything, they kept on changing it. And I could never keep track of what they're changing it to and things. So it used to be really, really good. What it is now, I don't know. But a lot of times when you sign up for it, you have to say which social media website you're using, and then your followers. At the time, you needed to have 500 or more. Because originally I tried to do it when I was under 500 on YouTube, and they said, no, you need to be over 500. So I think it was like a week later it went over 500. So I applied again, and they're like, okay, yeah, you're over it now. But it seems to be, if you do it on YouTube, like if you used YouTube to get like the affiliate, and then you post on Facebook, because you didn't do it through, you didn't say it was Facebook, it doesn't count or something like that. So that was always annoying, because half the time I'd find like really good deals or something and then post it in like a Slack or a Discord or something like that, and because it wasn't the one you'd nominated, they wouldn't take it from there.
Okay, I didn't realize it was that like broken down. So what would you have? Would you only be able to post it on one platform? What if you could you get, I don't know, a certain status or a certain link that you could use on various platforms? If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's because when you can go into it, you either add it to your account, so that, because that's what I think Bonnie was saying. You go to the product page, whatever it is, and then it's usually on your account there. You can go, okay, get this different type of link, and one will be like a really short link, one's a long link, and can't remember the other one, but you then copy and paste that to wherever. You then can also set up on Amazon, you can have like a buy page or something, because I've seen it on some other people's, where particularly if photographers do it a lot, because people go, what sort of camera do you use? And it's like they can then have like a buy page where it says, these are all the different cameras that I use. And then if they click on that through Amazon, then they'll get a commission off that. So that's another way of doing it. When you signed up, at least though, you were able to say all the different websites you wanted to use, which I think then if you had like, TikTok and this, that, and the other, and you met the requirements, you'd say, okay, yes, I meet the requirements, sort of thing. And then they'd check out each one to make sure you did. I've never sort of sat down and tried to go, actually, now that I meet the requirements on other ones, can I add to them or things like that? So,
fair enough.
There certainly seems to be a whole art to it, and trying to keep up with it and things. Because I was looking at one stage and it kept on referring people, and it would just come up and say, oh, yes, they clicked on it because you get your statistics and that. And it's like they clicked on it through your thing, but it's not a qualifying purchase. And it's like, well, why was it a qualifying purchase yesterday, but it's not today, sort of thing? Because it just doesn't tell you. So it's almost like you're going to all this work and something like that, and then they decide to change the goalposts, and it's just like, oh, whatever, it's too hard. So let's see what going there. So I think it was because during the day or whatever, I was chatting with Trevor, because he was having some issues with his video going up because of it sounded like there's some copyrighted bit of music or whatever in there, and sometimes it wasn't actually a copyright strike, but it was a, what did they say, copyright infringement, I think.
Infringement, yeah.
Yeah. So, because I had that years ago when I first started doing shorts, I was doing like, how to draw Bart Simpson in 1 minute sort of thing. And it came up, and it's sort of like, oh, this is inappropriate content, and it's, mature themes and this, that, and the other. It's like, okay, then.
What kind of drawings were you doing?
They obviously didn't think it was Bart Simpson, did they? You've only got to look at the drawings he does on your stream, Bonnie.
Sometimes I think they obviously have AI trying to work this out, and it's sieving through things, and it's picking up stuff that's just not what it says. And then that's why you have to like report this is fine, and then actually gets a human to look at it.
human to look at. Yeah, that was. I think there's so many thousands of hours of YouTube uploaded each minute that obviously there's some bots running over it. So when that happened, you can go in and you can challenge it or whatever, and you say on what basis. And yeah, it seemed to be like it would get reviewed by a person, and then somebody would come back a bit later on, and for the first time that I challenged it, it came back pretty quick, and that was it's okay. And then I'd get it. I think it happened like another 3 or 4 times after that, and you had to keep on doing it, because sort of like I think another one was like how to draw an Among Us character, and it got pinged as well for violent content or something. Like, so I think after about 4 or 5 of those, either somebody set the account to go, no, don't ping these videos, but it was on really innocuous type stuff. So it's certainly a matter of sometimes if I do upload a video and there's something which is a bit quirky or something, it's always worthwhile having a bit of a challenge of it, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I knew, because the thing with me is I'd used a different editing app that had got a library of copyright-free tracks to pick from, because my other editing app, their subscription, they want a silly amount of money per week. And I thought, I'm not going to do this. I don't always edit every week. I'm not going to get my money's from it. So I used this different app, picked a track of music that I wanted to use, and then uploaded it. I even went through a copyright checker just to make sure. And it was taking a lot longer than it would usually to upload. And then it came back with this copyright. And I thought, what's that? And then I noticed that people were saying they couldn't leave comments. So I went through it all, and it said that this particular track, I could mute it. I thought, well, I don't want to mute it. The video's going to be silent. So I thought, well, I've used an app that's told me that I could use their copyright-free music. Even I'd look online and said, can you use their music library for YouTube? And it said, yeah, it's copyright-free. So I did a bit of an email together, sent it off to YouTube. I thought, I'm not having this. And they wrote back and said, yeah, we've been in touch with whoever owns that particular copyright for that track of music, and they've withdrawn the copyright infringement against your video. So you'll get your comments back. So a couple of hours later, because I know Matt was trying for me, I eventually got my comments back, and people could freely put comments. But it was just annoying.
Yeah.
But it's put me off.
Yeah.
It's put me off using that app now, because I don't know whether other tracks are going to get that. But like Matt said, a lot of people, and yourself, AI checks it. It's not a human being checking it.
Yeah. It just stalls the whole process. Like, you just getting your video up, getting the comments through, and it could just cause all the engagement to just halt as well, because people are like, well, I can't leave a comment, I'll just leave it then.
Yeah, because people were messaging me saying, well, we've seen your video, we'd love to leave you a comment, but we can't. We know they're turned off. I'm thinking, well, I haven't turned them off. It's YouTube, and it was just like you say, I wanted to get the vlog up that night. I was frantically editing it when we got back home, and it's just something else. I thought, I don't need this.
It's almost better to just, I don't know, hide the video, and then you're not losing those comments and that engagement, right? Or what would be better? Would that be worse if they just, I don't know, temporarily took it offline and then put it back up so that people could comment? Or is it better to have it frozen?
My other idea, but I thought I'll leave it, was, I thought I'll take it down, source another track of music, and then re-upload it. But by that point, it had already got like 150, nearly 200 views. I thought, I don't want to do it, because will I upset an algorithm? Will it upset what it do so well if I take it down and re-upload it? You know what I mean? So all kinds of things were going through my mind. So I thought, no, I'll leave it. I'll oppose the decision that YouTube's made, and they came back and lifted it. So thankfully, so we're all good again. But it just puts me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that I know you do your stuff on a phone, but if you go into YouTube, there's actually an audio library there of all copyright-free sort of things that you can use. I mean, some of them generally say if you do, you're meant to attribute it in the description or something like that. So I don't know, that might be another thing worth having a look at if that's going to give you grief.
Yeah. No, thank you for that.
Is there a thing around, like, it might be copyright free now, but Sorry, Matt, go for it.
No, go.
Yeah, just if there's no copyright now, but then further down the line, the person who made it, can they just say like, actually, I don't want this to be used on YouTube anymore? Do they give up all the rights? Because I swear it was KO or someone had it where they'd done a video, and then like a year later got hit with copyright infringement because the song was now no longer allowed to be used freely.
I thought you'd give up the copyright to that track being used.
That's what I thought as well, because otherwise it's like that would be a risk for everyone all the time, and it would just be a constant pain in the butt. And then it's kind of like, well, what are people paying this money for subscriptions for these sites? Like I use one that's like Pandemic but not Pandemic. I don't know if we're allowed to say, but that's the one I use for soundtracks and stuff like that. And it's a bit like, well, I'm paying a little bit for that, so if it were to suddenly like be that every now and again my stuff would get struck, then it's a bit like, well, why am I paying this then?
Yeah, it's a massive business as well, right? I'd forgotten. I know someone who, they got into this copyright-free music, and it's huge.
Yeah.
So you'd think that they would build that in to so that they're not going to get screwed over, but I don't know.
Fun to be had. Just start making our own music. I thought we were going to be starting a Lego music band thing. There was talk about a music video with Trev doing My Heart Will Go On, and that never happened. We need to come up with new words, do like a parody. I'm sure everyone in the chat would love that. I think he was maybe in the shower for that, but I cannot remember for the life of me why.
I can't remember either.
We have to watch back on the streams to work out what the story was with that.
Certainly. If we do your stream at some stage on Sunday, we can probably start doing some storyboard visuals or something.
Oh god, right, that'll get me struck. That will get me struck for sure. That will be marked as inappropriate.
And the Bonnie streams, that will.
Yep. Ending before it's mostly began, so yeah. I think it would be more frowned upon if people started doing weird things building with Lego. I wonder if anyone's actually done that. I'll probably put the idea in someone's head now. But yeah. Kao's saying it's happened to him a lot with the copyright stuff as well.
Didn't Barry build something slightly inappropriate? Wasn't that during a stream from Cabbage? Wasn't that something weird of something? Where they built something? And Barry built...
That rings a bell. I did. Yeah, I think I've seen that. I can't remember what was built, but yeah.
I think he used a hard piece at a certain place.
But obviously I know Trev bought some stuff for their latest release, but did you guys already discuss or say if you'd bought anything from today? Or not today, 2 days ago?
I didn't get anything myself. No, not yet.
Not yet, so you're just holding off. So there's maybe stuff
waiting for discounts, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the Batman. The Batmobile came out as well, didn't it? I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, is that the one that is it? I can't remember what it's called now. There was one that we actually found in a shop early in London, and we bought it.
Did you? That was the one.
Was it that one?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to wait for it.
Yeah. Germany would offer you 10%.
Still, because it was £35 for the Batman Tumbler, which retired last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can justify more than that.
Yeah, because the GWPs right now, I'm not really fussed about them, to be honest. We've got the God, I'm so bad at this. The vase. When did we get that? That
The
must
what,
have been
sorry?
in London. Like the vase.
Oh, I see.
Flower
Sorry,
pot.
you said the
Flower
baz.
pot.
I was gonna say, he's a baz.
Sorry, the flower pot.
That one's cool. I really like the pieces,
Yeah.
the yellow pieces.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm thinking about doing a mock with these. It's annoying because I actually wish I had like quite a few of this set. Because I want to build it as this, but I
Okay,
also
nice.
want to use these parts, and I need maybe another 3.
We can do. They strike me as a hot air balloon, but what are you gonna do?
Well, let's see. Let's see if
Yeah,
people
okay,
can work
wait
out.
for your
It
video.
should be pretty obvious if anyone watches Disney. But I mean, what does that not make you think of? Think of a Disney film. I'll put it upside down.
Oh,
It must.
yeah.
Oh, come on. Come on. It must.
I'll
Am I
leave this
just
for
like?
the bigger
Is my
Disney
mind
fans.
just like full on Disney 1000% of the time, and it's just like this is what I see.
I know what you mean. I can't think of the name.
Feel like a
Trolls.
giraffe.
I'm thinking of
Troll.
stuff, but it's not
No.
Disney.
Oh, come on, guys. This is killing me that you are not
Jack
working this out. Right, Aladdin, like Agrabah Palace.
Okay. That's coming out though, isn't it?
Well, apparently there's like a mini one, yeah, that's meant to be like the scale of the Haunted Mansion build.
Yeah, nice.
Um,
Okay, so yours would be bigger.
Yeah.
So that would be much bigger scale. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's
so-
cool. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
That'd be
but
cool.
that's to be fair. I thought that when I first saw this set, pictures of this set, but it was actually and like I did have that already in my head. But I was very proud that Aaron came up to me and he was like, you know what I thought of when I saw this? I was like, you could do an Agrabah mock, and I was like, I'm so proud of you. Starting to think the same as me now. But yeah, I would need like another 3 because I think there's like 3. I'm just going to call them chimneys for the lack of a better word. I don't know what they're called.
Turrets?
On the palace, yeah. So, yeah, but I'm
Domes.
very, yeah, I'm very passionate against like buying GWPs like on the market sort of thing. But I might just have to do it, or just pray and hope that those end up on a pab wall one day. I don't know, or just maybe order them. Must be able to order them.
They should
Yes.
be fair, like with GWPs, they tend to get cheaper after a few months. It seems
Yeah.
like they're most expensive, unless it's particular ones, they're most expensive when they come out, it seems. And then after a month or 2, they drop in price.
Yeah.
So, because I do think that would look quite a nice centerpiece for the new house, maybe. But yeah, so that's the thought process with that. But yeah, I really need to get a move on and get that Haunted Mansion now, because that is like the only Disney set that's like not a 4+ set that I don't have, I think.
I wonder if it'll become popular. They've got the film coming out, haven't they?
Oh, have they?
Soon.
I don't
This
even
year.
know.
There's a Haunted Mansion film coming out. I've seen an advert for.
Oh, they're redoing it. I thought they already had one.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it must be redo. I didn't even know it
Yeah.
was a film to start with, to be honest. But
Yeah, I thought, is that not the film with Eddie Murphy in it? I only watched it once.
well, this one's got Owen Wilson and other people. I can't remember.
Owen Wilson is one of these like actors I can't decide about. Like,
He's a dude.
I liked him in. Wait, is he the one that's in Marley and Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Film always gets me crying. Oh, really? So you might get Disney copyright strike now for signing. I might. But really got it. She got Aladdin. She guessed it. So hold on. But yeah. But we'll see. We'll see if that mock ever happens. I've got loads of parts to do one, and I just haven't had the time. And now I'm like, should I start it? Because that's just going to be another thing to box away.
Yeah, this is where I'm at. There's nothing. I don't want to make anything too big because then you've got to transport
Pack it all away, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't want to start building your Disney castle, Bonnie, if you've got to pack it all away.
No, that's definitely not getting built if we're now talking about moving.
It's safer as it is.
Yeah, and it'll just be something nice to enjoy, especially like because I will really save it. So I will be like, right, once we're in the new house and we're happy that it's like painted or whatever how we want it, and then I'll and then I'll crack it open. I'm just hoping we're not like eating into like Halloween at this point, because that's like hocus pocus, obviously, and I'll have to take loads of time off work to get it all done.
Is the house process quicker in Scotland?
I don't believe so. I think it's more if you have a property to sell as well as like buying, it takes a lot longer. So this flat is Aaron's, and he said it was a lot comparatively quicker to get the sale through because he didn't have a property to sell. But obviously we'll be selling this place to put towards the new place. So I think it is meant to be a bit longer, because he said, oh, if hypothetically we got somewhere sorted in the next like month, it probably wouldn't be till like October that would move in.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
October.
Yeah.
If you haven't bought it yet, I would be if you imagine you would be in Germany and you would tell me exactly the same about being in Germany, I would be surprised if you were in the new house by Christmas.
Oh, really? That long?
Because October, that's 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I suppose, yeah. It doesn't sound like that long when you think about it.
Been slow here, even because we've not got a chain, and it's taken 3 months. And
Yeah, I
each
think
time
also,
they've not been a chain, and it's taken,
it also depends what solicitor or like real estate agent people are using, because I've been told a certain one here is really bad. Like everyone that's ever mentioned it knows like not to go with them. And the only reason that a lot of people go with them is because they do something for free. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, the color of Trev's wall will give you a clue.
Yeah. I've heard not to go with them.
Yeah, but,
in fact, Trev, you could guess it from Trev's picture with his t-shirt and his wall.
Yeah, but just look at Trev's picture and you can. From what I've been told, because the people that sold us this flat used them, and that's actually what delayed a lot of stuff. I think it's more just because they get a lot of people, they get a lot of customers because of this free thing that they do, and they just take on more than they can.
Get lots of weirdos on there as well, apparently, because there's people.
Hey.
I know you've got your affiliate link with them there, Trev.
Make some commission on that. Oh gosh, yeah. But have you found a place then, or are you like?
Yeah. Went to measure it up today, in fact. So I'm measuring up my Lego room.
Never mind curtains or anything like that.
yeah.
Look at that. We don't need blinds. We don't need curtains. Lego room.
Well, Trev, look how much stuff he's got to store. Like,
I know.
makes total sense. Priority.
All them trees. He's got enough for a forest there.
Yeah, it's going to be twice as big as this room, which I can't wait for.
I bet you're so excited, aren't you, Ollie? We won't see you for months now.
No. Well, this is it. Because I did realise, I was like, because I've got to get the room set up to some standard before I can start building stuff again, really, because I don't want to put everything up and then have to take it all back down to decorate. So,
do you know how you're going to do it? Are you going to have like loads of shelves, or are you just going to have like what you've kind of got there, like a counter?
I think I'm going to... I've got these shelves, these Billy bookshelf, and then a couple of these units behind.
Alex units, yeah.
Yeah.
Got my foot on one right now.
Yeah, I've got a classic one that I've had for about 15 years behind me. But yeah, I don't really know yet. I haven't figured out. I can't. I think I need to be in there really to be able to picture.
To feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I want to have a desk, so because it would be my office for work as well. So I almost want a desk for work and a desk for Lego, or that's what I'm thinking. But I also want to get like, I don't know, little like photo spots set up so I can take nice photos. But yeah, I need to figure it all out. I've got to try and smash some wardrobes to get them out because they're built in.
Smash some wardrobes to get them out. I love that.
That'd be fun. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to take some time off to do that, I think. Yeah. But it's, figuring out what the priorities are, because there's also the rest of the house.
Kind of important.
I probably shouldn't prioritize Lego room.
I know it'd be nice if we were able to find somewhere that's like mostly ready to move in, and like especially the big things. Like I don't what's the place like is the kitchen bathroom? Is that like okay, or is that going to?
Yeah, it's all actually livable. So the last
good.
2 houses. So this is the 3rd time we've gone through this.
Mm.
The last one was a proper doer-upper, and
Mm.
basically everything needed swapping out at some point. Some things, well, at least on the surface, seemed more urgent than others. But then it turned out that basically the only good thing in the whole house was that it had ventilation bricks in the living room. Otherwise, every single thing needed doing. So so this time we're like, let's go for somewhere where we have to pay a bit more up front, but we can just move in as if you were renting and just put your stuff in and go, for the most part.
Yeah.
So
cannot be bothered with all that.
Yeah, at first we were looking forward to it. Like I did a plastering course and everything, but now I'm quite happy to not have to do up an entire house for years to come.
I think I get what you mean in terms of like having to do up the whole place, because this flat, every single room had to be like torn out, and like it was the whole thing. So it's fine if it's just some room. This is why I'm saying like the bathroom and kitchen are like your bread and butter of the house. As long as they're livable and okay, like the rest is fine, because then the rest of it is just painting and like flooring. But with obviously kitchen and bathroom, it's like fitting everything. So yeah, I don't want to have to do that again. And I suppose like it was really hard for us because we were trying to get done before Christmas, because we moved in here like mid-December, and I was like, I want it done before Christmas, and so it was like a manic 2 weeks, and the whole time we didn't realize I was pregnant as well. So I was like really exhausted, and then it obviously became clear why. So yeah, I don't want to go through that again, like all that work. So. But I hope it goes okay for you. Hopefully.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to see what your Lego room looks like.
Yeah. I'll have to do some like progress shots.
Yeah. That'd be so cool to see. I love seeing people's Lego rooms.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure it out. So my wife's doing an interior design course at the moment, so I'm gonna ping some ideas off of her as well.
That'll be good.
Amazing.
How are you getting on with your build, Trev? You fly through them, don't you?
Sorry?
You fly through builds on streams, don't you? I've only on bag 2.
I'm on bag 8 out of 13, so not too bad.
Wow.
So you'll be
You're
finished
not looking at it.
will you?
No, I don't think so. But we'll see. We'll see how we get on.
Oh my god, I'm just seeing some leaks coming up on my phone. I don't know if everyone's seen these yet. An Animal Crossing theme? Has anyone seen it? Yeah. Ash and Flash just posted it 16 minutes ago.
Animal Crossing now. I got into it a couple of years ago. 2 years ago. But there isn't an update in a long time, and from what I heard, there won't be an update anymore. Anyway.
Really? Is it finished?
I guess.
It's really popular, isn't it, Animal Crossing?
Yeah, but that's what I heard.
This is talking about next year.
Yeah, they're all coming up for next year now, aren't they? It's mad. Like up until like. Yeah.
No, we haven't finished this year, and now everybody's leaking out what's coming out in 2024.
I know. I hate that though, because I saw the like leaks of like what the sets were supposed to be. It was a lot of. It was heavy on Star Wars stuff, and I can't remember who the source was that was providing all these like potential leaks or like whatever. But it was like a reliable source that usually is right. So I was like, well, this is kind of like talking about stuff that's coming out next May, and I'm just like, I would like love to not know at this point.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a break, a little bit of a break. At least get this year done.
Yeah,
it's almost like in the supermarkets when they've got Easter's done, get the Halloween stuff out. Halloween's done, get Christmas stuff out.
They have started doing that. Like I think I'm at a new record now with my local shops, because every year I'm always like, right, what is the earliest I'm going to see a piece of Christmas stuff in the shops? And I think someone hit a new record because I think it was either the 1st of August or it was like the end of July. And I was like, really? Like,
There's this Christmas in July thing now. Or I don't know if it's been around for a while, but yeah.
it's just mental. But then my mum did also mention she'd started Christmas shopping, and I'm like, why the fuck are you Christmas shopping? Stop it.
That's very organised. Very organised.
No, I think it was like she bought something for Nova, and it was like she'd already felt like she'd bought her enough for her birthday, so she was probably thinking, oh, I'll just give it to her for Christmas or something like that.
Right.
I don't know. My mum's a bizarre person sometimes. Oh, there's spaghetti on the floor.
Is it cooked or uncooked?
This house is a flipping. Do you want me to throw it at the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't work. it was cooked at the time. That's Nova throwing food on the floor. Oh Christ, it's everywhere. Oh, that's Aaron's problem tomorrow. Oh God.
You sure it was Nova?
Yeah. No, she's at that phase now where she likes to eat some, and then all of a sudden she'll go, nah, on the floor, on the carpet, on the wall.
I remember when Thomas first tried tomato soup. Geez, it looked like a massacre had taken place all over the high chair. Everywhere but his mouth.
Yeah. Oh, it's when it goes in the hair. Like, I just don't look at her until the end. She starts eating, and then she's like, psh, 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 psh. It's all style and bolognese do. But she gets a bath right after anyway. Oh, one Brick stud saying he doesn't mind leaks, especially if it's Harry Potter. Yeah, it's more like I don't mind leaks, but it's just the time, like ahead of when they're happening.
But if it's that early, I have forgotten it already, let alone next year.
Yeah.
I think I'm just always surprised at how much information is leaked.
Yeah.
Like, because they've got all like a whole bunch of city sets as well, Friends, all the themes basically, and it's all from me. To the point, I reckon there's a conspiracy there. Lego's leaking it for early publicity.
Yeah, but I don't know what they gain from it, really, because especially right now, leaking all this stuff when it's like just before a release day, so they already should be getting hype from
I don't know,
the releases and stuff. But
attention market.
Probably on purpose to
but
create
yeah,
more hype.
Maybe they're like thinking what Nicole's saying, like we will mostly forget. I did see a picture of like, I don't know if it was real or if it was like a modification of an image or something, but it was like a really scary looking Stitch build. Like
I've seen something about that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh God, don't screw that up. Don't screw that up, because that will just offend so many, and I don't want scary Stitch. Like, oh my God.
I wonder what's going to happen with the Harry Potter sets, because I've seen people saying about they kind of just recycle them. So are they going to go down, I don't know, new routes with it, or is it just re-releasing old stuff?
Well, they're not going to bring out new stuff for this TV series, so it's going to be all like new people, and there's talk of like, they're going to diversify the cast, so there's might be like talk of a black Hermione and stuff like this, so that would be like a new minifig. Like, I think they might totally do everything up.
I wonder, that's surely going to get done, right? They can't not do that.
Yeah. Don't know.
I'm kind of torn about it. On the one hand, it's boring if you get the 10th X-Wing. On the other hand, there are new people coming all the time. And
that's very true.
Yeah, imagine Lego Disney Castle. If your bunny would have just joined in 5 years, and then one would tell you, okay, too bad, there were a Disney Castle.
No, it's very true. I was kind of like on the cusp of not getting that in the end, I suppose, because I got that in August, and it then retired in the end of December. And yeah, there was even a person at my Lego store that worked there, and they were like, I never saw the first one.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, huh? No, I'm joking. But Yeah, no, good point. They might just keep bringing out the same version of the Disney castle every 5 years. Who knows? But I don't know. I don't know. Part of me thinks it is like what you're saying about the X-wings, Ollie, and stuff like that. I feel like for hardcore fans, to an extent, the same set but a different version all the time is still quite an exciting thing, because, as I said when I spoke about briefly about the new castle, even though I haven't built it yet, I still think it's amazing, and I'm still so excited to build it. But that's because I'm like mad into Disney. I feel like, someone that's maybe a little slightly into Disney but not as much maybe wouldn't want to buy
Yeah, that's
the
fair.
same one again, if you know what I mean.
That's a good point, especially as there's a whole like collector mindset, right?
Mm.
So people will want to have every version from over the
Yeah.
years into Lego for however long.
Yeah, because
I would
I
love-
think Star Wars is a good example, because there's people that go crazy over like, this one has a new arm print. And I'm like I love Star Wars, but I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan. Like I couldn't go on Mastermind about it or anything like that remotely. But like that kind of thing, I'm like, oh, it's cool, but it's like, okay. So like, yeah, there probably is people that would buy all the different versions of things.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'd agree with what One Vic Stud's saying about Lego Harry Potter. It can be as big as
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars. It's
Yeah.
probably on a par. It was one of Lego's biggest themes, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, I think it's more
They did.
like all age inclusive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and Lego Harry Potter does a lot of things that Star Wars never got, like the Hogwarts Castle in installments and loads of places like the Burrow and other places. Star Wars buildings are non-existing. I think it's only the Cantina and the Death Star.
Yeah, I guess Yavin 4 now, but people don't like that because. Yeah, but yeah, it's a good point. You don't.
But yeah, I get what you're saying as well, because I'm not like mad into Harry Potter, but I still want to buy like Gringotts and Diagon Alley and stuff to like integrate into like my city eventually. So, but I would want to do that with Star Wars, but I can't we've talked about having like a spaceport for like the Falcon and stuff, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Star Wars modular buildings. That would be
So what a spaceport in Diagon Alley.
A new Burrow, that'd be cool.
Gary, yeah.
Mm.
But just getting back to what you're saying before, Lego's weird in that it tries to keep the announcements of its releases so close to the actual releases, whereas any other toy company, it's like they'll tell you 18 months in advance and let you do whatever with that sort of information. And they try to involve the fans as much as possible. I mean, maybe Lego's just lucky that the fans are so ravenous it doesn't matter, but it is kind of strange.
It's getting very close to like releases now, though, isn't it? It's like, oh, we're putting out the Disney Castle in 3 weeks' time. Whatever. It doesn't really give you much of a chance to get your money together, does it? I mean, obviously, they're quite good in that they have.
Or are they trying to do it more?
For years. Sorry, Matt, go for it.
I was just going to say, are they really trying to do more of the FOMO and things like that? Because it only seems like yesterday that we're talking about like a Rivendell or a Batbox or something like that moving on to the next thing almost right away. And I almost found that a bit odd, even from Lego. Like on the 1st of August, they were like promoting all the stuff which is coming out on like September and things. It's like you're not even giving like your day of new releases to breathe. Like, okay, there was some promotion for Dreams, but.
But like you were saying earlier, like we all knew Dreams was coming out, but the hype had died down because I guess it was announced a couple of months ago. Maybe this is the counterpoint to announcing stuff far in advance.
But then I suppose they were trying to give people notice to watch the series, because they probably figured it's going to sell better if people watch the series first. Because I totally when I was thinking about it like a week or so ago, I was like, oh yeah, what does come out on August 1st? And when I realised that was when the Dream stuff actually came out, I was like, Christ, I thought that was already out because it's been spoken about
Yeah.
so much. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. It's like a hard medium, but I think that was different. I think that was just purely because of the series on TV or whatever people were watching at YouTube. Yeah.
It's everywhere, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah. Although I have to admit that I struggle more with the sets that retire and the information that we get about it.
Yeah, that seems to just because when you look up like what sets are retiring this year, they always say like this is just a guess, basically based on how long on rumors and how long it's been out for, and it can change, right?
Right.
Yeah, because they're doing it based on how well they sell.
It's like the Lego Treehouse that was meant to retire a couple of years ago, and it's still on the shelves now.
Oh yeah,
So,
I went and bought it because I'd read a thing about that, and I don't even like it. I'm going to sell it, but yeah.
The treehouse is amazing.
Yeah, I do like that one.
I didn't. I mean, sorry, it looks good on display. I didn't enjoy building it though. I don't know why. Yeah.
Maybe quite repetitive, that one, maybe? Branch leaf.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'd enjoy it more now, but I did think I'm trying to decide whether to rebuild it or I had to get down for space. But
I didn't like the treehouse. There's a guy who just released treehouse instructions, tree instructions.
Yeah, I realised the irony of it as I was saying it. But, yeah.
This is how you do a tree. Leaks may stop people from buying new sets because people may decide to save up for a leak set that's due to come out for 1 or 2 months. I don't know. I think a little bit more to what Nicole was saying. I spend a lot of time just chasing stuff which is about to retire. Like, certainly I remember last AFOL day, most of that's like, well, this stuff's retiring at the end of the year, and it's generally the Lego exclusive stuff or things that you've never seen a discount on. But I mean, people saving up money for Lego, I think it's kind of like, oh, it's out, bought it.
Yeah. I know, I think I'm going to be like corralled into a purchase of like a soon to retire set if they announce that the original like Diagon Alley is retiring. But then I don't think that'll happen this year because of Gringotts and how it's like compatible with it. I think they might want to leave it for a bit longer, but I hope so, because I don't really want to be corralled into buying that soon.
Yeah, because there is no guarantee for it. There's plenty of present that a set comes out, and even in the instructions of the set, in the back, there is the that Lego shows you, oh, this goes perfectly with this set, and you think to yourself, yeah, and that retired 3 months ago. Why?
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen.
I wonder why it happens, because from a business perspective, it doesn't make any sense to show people sets that they can't buy anymore.
Yeah.
Ninjago City Apartments. This is news to my ears.
Oh, wow.
Ready.
There's only just leaks for markets.
I don't think there's a leak. I think there's a flipping, I don't know, puncture hole, abysmal, like, crate in the Lego. I don't know. It's late. You know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't sound like a little leak anymore. It sounds like stuff that's pouring through. But maybe that is for like to corral people into buying other Ninjago sets, like other than the bigger ones, to start to make like a Ninjago world sort of thing. Don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's becoming a thing now, right? But then, because how much do the Ninjago sets connect to the city? Ninjago City sets, like you don't. I've no idea. I was just basing it on what I've seen people doing with the city gardens and the market and
Yeah. Well, I see people sort of will make either a Chinese sort of section because combine it with a couple of Chinese New Year sets, or just make an Ninjago
Yeah.
sort of district.
Yeah.
But I mean, you'd have
And once
because I
you
think
started something, you want to continue. It's like with the modular buildings. Theoretically, you could just leave one out. It wouldn't endanger the rest of the structural integrity of the rest of the buildings. But if you started once and you have 2, 3, 5 buildings, it breaks your heart if then a next modular building comes out and you decide not to buy it.
Yeah. I'm still missing 2 that I really want, and I'm like, oh, that's another thing. Because I think one of them's definitely retiring at the end of this year, which is the bookstore.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then the other one I'm missing is the boutique hotel as well.
Oh, I love the boutique hotel.
That's not retiring.
So
I might have a bookstore cheap. I'm going to go through all my sets to decide what to sell. So I'll let you know if it will go cheap or not.
that would be good, thank you. Because I have eyed it up a couple of times on oh no, it's the boutique hotel that's like sometimes quite a good discount on John Lewis.
Yeah.
But, oh god, right, what's this?
Got there. So yeah, it's
Let's have a look.
7
apartments,
modular.
saying there.
Wait, yeah.
Hmm.
20
Mm.
25
Titanium J will be
26.
pleased.
Yeah, he's too effective. You complain to them, and then instantly he gets a set.
Alternating between corner and straight built modulars.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see them because all the other ones seem very like not standalone, but they're quite like pinnacle builds. So yeah, if they're meant to be more straight and modular like, then yeah, be interesting.
The 7th. That's only the 5th, isn't it? Because you've had the docks,
Yeah,
the
that was the
movie, the markets, the one this year, and then that would be number 5.
Yeah.
Did you mention the harbour?
Yeah, that's the docks.
Ah, okay.
Because yeah, I think there's only been 4 released at this stage, and 2 of them have retired.
Right.
Unless the leaks are sort of like, yeah, we're just jumping up to 7, which then means there's a 6th one. It's like,
Oh.
Why all
It's
these
everything.
leaks all of a sudden?
Yeah, this is it. It's a conspiracy, Trev. It's Lego.
Oh.
well, I was seeing somewhere that, and everything's always with a grain of salt, but this year is on track to be one of Lego's most profitable years, which, I mean, given the number of big sets and everything, that's not surprising. But they keep on, like, I think last year they released 980 new sets. The year before that, they did like 940. And it's really interesting because you go back about 15 years and they're doing about 400 or 500 sets a year. So it's almost doubled. And it feels like with the way that these leagues are going, that it's going to crack 1,000 next year. Which,
So I was talking. Oh, sorry, Matt, go for it.
even if you could afford it, that's like you'd have to buy 3 sets a day, sort of thing. Maybe a bit less. Okay, yeah, some's going to be Duplo and minifigures, whatever. But it's you only have to be interested in a small fraction of those, and it's expensive. So
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Sorry, I was going to say.
Because it was apparently. I was talking to one of the guys in the Southampton store, and he was saying that I think it was maybe even as recently as pre-COVID, monthly releases just weren't a thing. I think it was like every 3 or 4 months was the big release, but now it's every month on the 1st is a big release. 900 and odd sets in 1 year is mad. Because that's just new sets as well, right? They're still maintaining the ones. Obviously, they're retiring a bunch, but they're not retiring 900 they're not retiring 900 sets a year, are they? I wouldn't have thought.
Well, you'd have to be doing something close to that.
Yeah, I guess.
This is like the thing that's now going to be like, they're going to make so much money because they've cracked the way to do it is that you bring out obviously more sets to attract more people to get into Lego and your current fan base as well to keep buying other stuff. But also, if you are making more, then your factory is having to specifically concentrate on certain molds, all this kind of thing. So they're going to have to retire sets sooner to be able to do the new ones. So then people are going to be like, crap, I need to go and buy this set now as well because it's retiring. So it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel personally attached to my Lego.
That's when you just end up making a decision to be like, I just can't do all of it.
Yeah. Please let the leak be something I couldn't care less about, please.
Get into mocking and then you don't care so much.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, Ollie. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to concentrate on... Basically, I'm trying to fill the gap that Lego have actually made, despite almost breaking 1,000, which is not enough Disney, by making my own. But yeah, it's like what we were saying about like just even trying to like focus on certain things. And I think one Brick Stud has even said City Gardens and Jago-wise was enough for them. Like, I'm starting to try and really focus on my themes and like really trying to narrow it down, because otherwise it's just, you just can't do it, you just can't maintain it. And
that's it.
Yeah, and then like, I don't know about you guys, but I like my displays to kind of make sense, so I don't want to have loads of different random themes here, there and everywhere. I want things to kind of have a flow.
I get that. It's like when I bought my corner cabinet on my landing, it's 4 Avatar. There's nothing else in there but Avatar. The first wave, the second wave, so I'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've kind of gone almost the other way, where I'm trying to. I was going to say I get away from themes, but I do stick with like a bit of Star Wars, a bit of Marvel. But the more like standout displays, like the individual things that won't have a run, so like ideas, or like the Disney camera, which you could just have by itself and not have any other Disney stuff, like the standalone stuff, and then you can kind of have slightly more eclectic collection, not really out of place.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's, especially that idea stuff. Sometimes they just come out with absolute crackers that are just like so random but great, and you're just like, oh. Like their art pieces and stuff. We have the Wave, but we still have to get the Van Gogh one.
I get that. That looks really cool. Yeah, I've got the Van Gogh one. I've got that one. That I'm trying to figure out when to build that. I do want to have that hung up on a wall.
See, that's another John Lewis one that I've seen a couple times, and I'm like,
yeah, because I should have got that on an offer, because I bought that. I think maybe I got it to get a gift with purchase or something, but I bought it. Yeah, it was one of them to either get double points or got caught up in the hype of the GWP.
I might try and squirrel some money away for like Black Friday, because Black Friday I think last year was pretty decent, and funnily enough, it's of all websites I'll be checking first at midnight will probably be John Lewis.
Yeah, John Lewis and Smith and Argos. It won't be Lego.
No, it won't be Lego. Yeah, Argos as well. Yeah, but Smiths are still they're quite stingy still with their Lego, like the bigger sets.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I think they did a discount on the Bugle a while back, but they've since put it back to full price, because the Bugle and the bookstore are their exclusive ones that I still need to get.
Right. I was so lucky to get the Bugle before the price hike.
Yeah. Still need to get that one.
That was a satisfying.
Definitely, Black Friday and that month is when you see the other really good deals and things. So it's certainly, have a bit saved up from that, because that's when you can really. There's some good things which pop up on ridiculous prices, particularly some of the stuff which is about to retire, because sometimes they're just like, look, we just want to clear it out, have it all gone, and all of a sudden it's 40% off or something.
I think I'll be giving myself an IOU, because I'll get like a little pot of money from my work. Like my work did this thing, if you like when you return to work for 6 months, if you've been back for 6 months after maternity leave, you get like £2,000 or something like this.
Oh, really?
So I might just might use that for like.
Nice. Is it quite common that people? I guess it's fairly common that people don't necessarily go back to work after
Yeah,
on
I can
maternity,
see why people don't, so I can understand why
Yeah,
other
I've-
companies do
heard.
it. Yeah, but and to be fair, I see it as more as like, here's the money that either the government or we should have been paying you when we paid you like
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sure it'll go into something more responsible. Unfortunately, but
Set aside half for something sensible, half for fun.
because then there's also they'll bring out a new like winter village sort of set as well, won't they? That's an
Yeah,
annual
that's
thing?
been announced, hasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
A chalet of some sort, I think.
Has it been announced? Oh my god, I've missed
Well, not
it.
announced, sorry, but rumoured, leaked.
Oh, leaked, of course.
Yeah.
All the other
Yeah,
leaks. I think I've got a couple elf clubhouses actually. They'd already retired, but John Lewis still had some on their shelves, so I nabbed them. So I was like, oh, I'll sell them next Christmas to help pay for whatever else.
Because apparently they're quite a good seller, them, the Christmas sets, aren't they? Like,
They're really good. It's so hard to get them once they've retired because we were obviously just starting ours last year, and we don't have the fire station or the what other one? It hasn't retired. It only came out last year. The Santa's Workshop one. Is it retired now? I can't remember.
yeah,
They
I
only
think
last like a year or two.
there's a year, I think they were in the shops for, aren't they? Because it was the high street.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah,
one
I
with a little tram.
Yeah.
A winter lodge set.
No, it's
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to Google this.
Yeah, it's the first couple,
Already-
as with anything, the people didn't quite realize it was going to be a theme or a thing. So certainly up to about the gingerbread house, they are quite expensive. But since then, as with anything, everyone's sort of gone, okay, well, those ones are done really well, so we'll get the elf clubhouse, and was it the Santa's something or other?
Gingerbread house.
But those two, one of them, the one that's retired recently, is still like you can still get it relatively cheap off eBay or any secondary market sort of thing.
Yeah, the gingerbread house one definitely retired longer ago because that was one that I saw a picture of and I was like, I would love that one. But it was just silly expensive to buy it, second hand sort of thing. So that's one that we don't have, which is gutting. I think we did actually get Santa's Workshop. We went a bit mad with the Winter Village last year. We bought as much as we kind of could.
Yeah, I got the ice rink, and
I love that.
Yeah,
I absolutely
yeah.
love that one. Yeah, that's such a good one.
I
I
modified
really like that.
What did I do with that? I took the ice rink bit off and combined it with the elf clubhouse. So I had it out the front of the elf clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you got rid of the ice rink?
What was that, sorry, Matt?
The ice rink, was that the GWP?
No, it was.
It was the Lunar New Year one.
Yeah, Lunar New Year. That's it.
Oh, okay, right.
There
Yeah,
was
I thought-
an
yeah.
ice ring as well. Matt,
Oh.
and there was about that size.
Yeah, there was a GWP,
Yeah,
I think, with a little ice rink. But
Yeah.
the Lunar New Year
Yeah.
one is like a fantastic set for a winter village. It's so good. It's so many really nice figs and things in it and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, just
What,
watching
Matt? Are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing?
Chasing
There's
a
a
mosquito.
no, there's a wasp which is in here. It landed on my
Oh,
head.
no.
So I'm just like, oh, where'd it go? Like,
Oh dear.
Oh.
after I was doing that, it's like, oh, am I looking strange? Like having an attack, like a fit or something on camera.
Oh.
No.
I'll be able to get my Disney train out as well as part of the winter villagey sort of thing, which I'm super excited about.
That's cool. Yeah,
Oh, really nice that well, yeah. That Disney train.
Yeah.
Can you set that up around the castle as well?
That's one which I hope they will really.
It's going to go around the tree. I've decided. That's how I picture it.
Nice.
And maybe have like a tray on it to bring me hot chocolate. Maybe.
And where's Nova in all of this?
She's chasing it. Oh, God, I don't know what she's going to be like this year with the tree. It's going to be a nightmare. Probably going to have to be like, people that have like cats that don't put decorations like this, the bottom half of the tree. It'd be like that probably.
I'm so lucky with my cat in that she doesn't attack the tree. Yeah.
It's so funny when you see people's videos of just cats just like pancaking onto a tree as if like that's going to work. I don't understand what goes through their little minds. It's so funny. The whole tree comes down.
The other thing which the BrickBods, they did their little podcast today, and they were sort of talking like, trust in shows and things like that, like the Lego shows, a couple of different issues which are popping up. Apparently the Birmingham show in September has been cancelled because it's turned out that while they had the NEC, there was Comic-Con at the same time happening, and it's run by the same people, but because obviously you've got the actors and writers strike and that, you're getting no people coming out from the States for the comic aspect of it, so therefore the whole thing's not going to make money, so they just sort of cancelled all of it. But it's only just happened recently, so you've got people who have obviously booked accommodation and travel and things like that to go there, like as from the Lego side of things. And they're all out of pocket now, so it's sort of like, well, why would you think about displaying at one of these shows again in the future, sort of thing?
Yeah, it's an interesting point, isn't it? And they mean there's like kind of a mitigating circumstance, isn't it? And it's, well, I was going to say it's kind of out of their control, but maybe they could have, I don't know, found a smaller venue for the Lego display, a Lego event, and
rather than cancel the whole thing.
Yeah, right. Because it's meant to be. I know they run both of them, but like it's sold as a Lego event. I think. I don't know if they made it obvious that it was going to be part of Comic-Con or not. I think that might be happening with the Bournemouth one, where it's mixed with Comic-Con, because it's in quite a big venue, like one of the biggest venues in Bournemouth, and I don't see how they could make it work just for Lego. Like it's so I wonder if that will affect the Bournemouth one as well.
Going if it does. We're booked up to go to the London one as well.
Oh really? Do
Yeah.
they have multiple in the year? This is the Brick Festival, right? Or
No, this is just London Comic Con. But
I see. Right.
Yeah, but I wonder if similar issues might be snagged.
Yeah, because I don't know how long the strikes are going to go on for. It's quite a big issue, isn't it? And when they did the writer strikes before, whenever they were, I don't know, 10 years ago or whatever, they lasted for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Because you've had, I think, Bob Iger has sort of basically come out on the Disney side of things and said, well, you people are being greedy and it's never going to happen, sort of thing. And I think one of the other heads of studios turned around and said, because they're talking about doing sort of like overtime rates and all this other sort of stuff. And they're like, well, even if you got that, we'd never pay it, sort of thing. So it's kind of like, it doesn't look like it's going to get resolved anytime soon.
No, there. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to head. I can hear Nova stirring ever so slightly. But it was lovely to catch up with everyone.
See you back.
Yeah. Back home.
You got anything you want to quickly give a plug to?
Yeah, there's a very well overdue video coming out this week. It was supposed to go out the weekend, but because I've not been well, I've not finished editing it, but it needs to go out ASAP. That will be going out, and I will be back with my live streams on Sunday. I'm absolutely determined that they're going ahead, because I've missed a couple now because I was away on holiday and stuff. So yes, please tune in for that, 7:30 p.m. British time, and that makes it 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So yes, and who knows what else might happen. I need to do my London vlog as well, which will feature Matt in it, of course, and all the shenanigans that you and Aaron got up to in the Lego store. Yeah, so that'll be a fun one to edit. I'm sure I'll be like, oh, I totally forgot that happened. Yeah, more Aaron than you. Aaron was just so so badly behaved. I do apologize for that. So ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, it was nice to catch up with everyone, and I'll see everyone soon.
See you later. Take it easy.
Take care.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye. Let's come back there. Yeah, seems like time's just going by really quickly. Because when was that? That was only, I think we caught up. Was it the Sunday before last? Was it the Saturday? Saturday. And that was interesting because that was the day that they had the train strikes. So I know when I was going in, they're sort of like, oh, there's no trains coming back from like 6 o'clock onwards. So it's like, take a while to get home tonight.
Right.
Yeah, I just haven't bothered getting the train for a while. I think I've got to get it next week, actually. Having said that, I should probably check if there's strikes or not. I'm guessing they're still going. Oh, have they? Okay.
Resolve a number of them, but yeah, who knows? It's like get your calendar out sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think with that, we might just sort of go around, see what people are doing, and sort of start to wind up. We're sort of going to be heading on to about 3 hours pretty soon. So everyone looks like they're still busy building.
Frantically finishing.
Like, okay, we might just leave that for a few minutes then and sort of.
No, I am. Yeah, just putting the tyres on. I think that's it.
Anything else we can sort of cover or that? Or actually do it the other way. I have actually built something tonight for a change. Actually. So if that ever sort of comes up. It's a little Obi-Wan StarFighter.
That's a cool set.
It's a nice, cool little build.
Yeah.
Because I know we're talking about re-releases and everything like that, and there's a couple of these little sets which, when I first started getting into Lego, like just with the kids and everything, it was like with it before really getting back into it, they'd released a couple of these sorts of things. So I think there was like an Obi-Wan StarFighter. The other one was definitely a Yoda one, which is obviously being re-released soon. And so I quite like this because I didn't realize, you've got the body for your astromech in there. So that can come out. And then the actual head spins around on the outside here, so you can put it all together, which it's pretty cool how they've got all that sort of tucked away there. I'm sure the kids will still lose it anyhow, but the wings are put together in a really good angle. And yeah, you can even have the lightsaber on the bottom there for when Obi-Wan jumps out, does all these little things. And of course, the other thing in the set was Kimoan.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't think they'd done one of these for quite some time.
No, I think it was the first one.
Definitely something. Yeah, the thing is, the first one in this style, I think maybe they've done something slightly different with the neck before.
Okay.
I don't know. Never around with the sets way back in the 2000s whenever they were doing those ones. So nice little good build with that there. And a howdy to Boss Man. Hopefully you're going well. And with that, I think, Ollie, you sounded like you're just putting wheels on, so that's usually one of the last steps in the set. So,
I've finished it.
What are you been up to?
Out there. the latest. It's quite a cool little build. I've not done many Speed Champions. I did the James Bond and the Fast and Furious, but yeah, it's cool. I've been meaning to make this for a while and just putting it off. I really like it. It's just dangerous thing to get into.
Especially at that price range.
Yeah, and they're often on sale as well, right?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's me. Surprisingly,
good builds, though, aren't they?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. No, I think certainly as something Tech was pointing out, the new Batmobile one, which is in the Bat box, is going to be what, £45 or something ridiculous, whereas the previous 69 one was about £30, and it's got 2 figures and everything. So
yeah, I will. I do want to get it, but I'll wait. I'm sure it'll be Black Friday deal or something. I'm guessing it's going to be on Amazon or other places. I don't think it's a Lego exclusive.
It's already from Amazon available, and at the moment 10% discounted.
Okay, so it will go 30% off at some point, I'm sure. Then.
Yeah.
I always wonder what my YouTube channel should be about. What do you think? Me announcing Lego discounts.
Yeah, I reckon you get some people outraged. Outrage is a commodity. Something to be you can build on.
And so, Nicole, have you managed to? What have you been working on this evening?
I have a soccer field.
Is that the? Oh yeah, it's Quidditch, isn't it?
The Quidditch, the book.
Right.
Oh, cool.
I might end up liking it even better than expected. Yeah, I really like the other trunk. Yeah, so.
It's cool how it flips.
Yeah.
Got a mechanism to it.
Right, and afterwards, at least with the other trunk, you can put everything in it. You can travel with it, have everything with you. I thought it's for children amazing, and I thought it's an amazing opportunity for me if I ever traveled and wanted to my Sigfig to travel with me. It has its own suitcase.
With that. So, Ben, just I can see Troy's still beavering away there. So, what's sort of coming up on your social medias, and what have you got sort of to plug as such?
Tomorrow on Instagram, I'm going to meet Sir Awesome Fishy. Jiao and we are going to build and chat a bit on Instagram at 3 p.m. In the afternoon, UK time. That's PM, right?
Yep. It seems to always be about 3 o'clock our time. So, yeah. Okay, right. Excellent. Great. Well, there's something to look forward to on Nicole's. Because I thought you only did them every other week, and did you do it last week, or maybe?
Last week we didn't do it.
Didn't.
I don't think so. At least I messaged Jiao yesterday whether we are going to meet tomorrow, and she said yes. I hope. I can't remember whether now that you mentioned it.
2 weeks ago. I'm sure I tuned into a bit of one, and I don't think it was last week. I think it was the week before.
Thank God.
Not to say you didn't do one last week.
Yeah. It feels to me as if it were 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah, cool. So your stream tomorrow, Instagram at 3 o'clock UK time, which will be about 10 a.m. New York time. So
right.
And Ollie, anything you want to give a plug to, or you've got coming up or your tree instructions on Rebrickable?
Yeah, just the tree instructions on Rebrickable. Search for a tree, and hopefully it will show up. But otherwise, no, nothing much for me that I know of yet. Figuring out what the next thing will be. I might do instructions for a wave or something, because I've got ideas that, or I've done things that I don't think other people have.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, certainly. All right, it'd be interesting to see what wave you can sort of come up with. And I think Trevor has now gotten to the point of.
It's not finished. I've got another 3 bags, but just to give you an idea. I love these. I don't know whether you can see the signs.
Yeah, I was going to ask what they say. I can't read it.
You've got Dream Avenue, Siesta Avenue, Snooze Street.
And the blue looks amazing.
Yeah, those blue leaves, like the limb elements and the leaf parts. I want them.
Yeah, these new elements are nice.
Have they got like a swirl inside them or something? Are they like?
Yeah, you've got like a darker piece and then a translucent piece.
Oh, that's nice.
You can see it there better.
Nice.
Very cool.
And then the figures that I've come across so far, I've even built something to show them on. So I've done a mock.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
So you've got Izzy in a dream state when she fights. You've got Mateo. You've got Mrs. Castillo. You've got Z-Blob along the bottom. You've got the Dreamlings mushroom here.
Mm.
This one also has got a night catcher. I haven't come across that yet in the bag. But yeah, I do like the detail of them.
The fakes they're really cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
This hairpiece is lovely. It's like translucent colour, like changes colour.
The capes are cool as well.
Yeah, I wonder why we get a Sabine in the new Star Wars set. Why we do not get a hairpiece like that, not with the long hair, but in a shorter version, but something translucent, colorful.
I wonder if her hair's colourful in the Ahsoka show or not. I can't remember what it's like in the trailer.
Yeah. But in Rebels, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Got the hourglass there.
Oh yeah, nice.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, that's the piece I'm interested in.
That's not new, is it? I don't think. I think I've got one from a...
No, I've come across it in the Hocus Pocus set.
Oh yeah, okay. Still it's a cool piece though, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, great. And what do you sort of got coming up on your channel, Trevor, or what you've got recently released?
Just the vlog. Check out the vlog. Me and my son went to the Sheffield Lego store, bought a load of Dream sets, and I think I bought my Star Wars set as well, and the Marvel Venomous Groot. Yeah, bought that one for him. So yeah, please check that out on the channel. It's a great little vlog there, all to coincide with Dreams.
Oh, brilliant. Excellent then. Let's have that there. And then, yeah, that just sort of leaves what we're going to be doing. Starting just for a limited sort of time on Sunday, going to be doing a family stream. So me and my son, and then Trevor and his son, and Amber and her daughter are going to just be streaming for a couple hours on Sunday. So sort of like a family sort of thing. It's 3 p.m. UK, 10 a.m. American time. And
me and Thomas are going to be building that on Sunday.
The turtle one.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think last time I streamed with my son was about 2 years ago, and he was pretty keen to do this, and we never quite finished Pirates of Barracuda Bay. So we're going to be trying to finish that.
Oh, great set.
Yeah, it's been sitting there for a while. So join us for that. That should be fun. And
Have you recorded when you started building it? Have you recorded footage of it?
Well, I've got the previous 2 streams from a couple of years ago, so
Yeah.
that's got parts of that footage on there. Like it wasn't done as a time lapse or anything like that. No, but it's
No. Yeah. It's just that I thought that when you now build it on Sunday and maybe in future streams, it would be amazing if you do a video of it. Like, okay, that's how much value Lego brings. It might be expensive, but look at that. How much one ages when building it. 3 years in the build. So, or you leave it out. Like, okay, it takes a toll on you.
And you say that tech drags things out.
Yeah, or be the sort of thing where it's sort of like, yeah, we're that bad at it. It's taken us this long to do it. Like,
yeah, or not mention it at all. You started with brown long hair, and then when you finished it, all gray.
Yes, it certainly aged me in the meantime. So, yes, that'd be something. We'll just sort of look to be doing that while the kids have got school holidays and we can work times and everything like that. So yeah, by all means, check that out on Sunday. Sunday evening, probably doing the Bonnie stream, which with her 7:30, her channel, and then should be having top 5 most expensive Lego sets. I think I'm up to, is it 2007 now? That will probably come out Saturday afternoon, and then back here for the usual Thursday stream with these guys and a couple of the others, whether it's Bonnie and those sorts of people. And I think that's covered most things off. Is there anything else anybody still want to either give a last minute plug to or sort of say before we get out of here?
No.
Okay. Cool. So, the poll. I don't know if one of you guys, I always struggle to see it, asking about what people had bought or were thinking of buying or didn't buy or something like that. Let's see if I can. Anyhow, it's because I never quite look at it on my sort of stream. Otherwise, just a shout out to the people who were in the chat earlier. Andy's Bricks, Hillian's Bricks, KO, Minifigure Who, Falling with Bricks, TJ, One Brick Stud, Stud Sidious, Cabbage Face Simon, Omega Man, Brick Scene, Ruler, and Boss Man. Did I say One Brick Stud? Yep, I got that there. Thanks everyone for coming along and chatting with that. Did anyone manage to see what was happening with the poll, or just sort of?
Yeah, I've got it here. So, bit of a surprise. So 20% said that they did buy something and their bank balance knows it on August 1st. 36% said no, but will soon. 36% again said no, September 1st is soon, and 8% said no interest.
Okay, so we had a bit of a even split there across everything. Just trying to think. Otherwise, the usual social media thing: share, like, subscribe, do all that. People's details down below. Make sure to check out everybody there. And I think with that, we're all good. So thanks very much, and shout out to the replay gang. If you made it this far, leave a comment below, and we might give you a shout out in the beginning of the next one. So have a good week, and we will see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Bigger, give me a super duper.
case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.